Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
Oh, we are back, and I can't wait because the modifieds have entered the arena. The 600-horsepower machines, the original division of NASCAR, and we're going to get to watch Twin 50s tonight. It's presented by Thunder Road Grill, and oh, man, these are my favorite races of the night. Let's get you going with tonight's starting lineup for the first of the Twin 50s. Starting on the pole in the Q104.1 machine from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's Brandon Ward. And on the outside of the front row by way of redraw, the Hayes Jewelers, Jerry Hunt Supercenter, Units, Pulliam's Hot Dogs, number 83 from Tobaccoville, North Carolina, it's the Rocket, Tim Brown.
Starting in the third position by way of redraw, he was fast in qualifying. That's the number 4 of Jason Myers. Beside him in that number 44 from Kernsville, North Carolina, Daniel Beeson.
Starting fifth tonight, fresh off a win here at Bowman Gray Stadium, his 25th at Bowman Gray. In the Brad's Golf Cars modified number 75 from Wahlberg, North Carolina, it's Lee Jeffries. And to his outside, a fellow veteran in the Guaranteed Automotive, number 16 from Mount Airy, North Carolina, it's the showstopper, Chris Fleming.
Starting in the 7th position from here in Winston-Salem, driving the number 69, that's John Holloman IV. And in the 8th position, driving the number 10 from King, North Carolina, Dan Speeney.
In the next row, starting 9th, in the number 1, the CitraSafe Backyard Leisure Machine, 89 times the victor, looking for number 90 from Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Your 10-time Bowman Gray Stadium champion, it's Burt Myers. To his outside, in the Shooting Targets, number 37 from Tobaccoville, North Carolina, it's the brother, Mike Speeney.
Starting in the number 13th position, driving the number 9, that's Kyle Southern. And beside him in the 14th position from Monroe, North Carolina, driving the number 3, that's Danny Probst.
I think we missed a row there. Let's starting 11th, Randy Butner, Junior Snow in the number 91. Let's go now to the 15th position on the track right now. Jonathan Brown making his return in the number 21, a 25-time winner in the Bowman Gray Stadium Wars here. Jesse, it's going to be great to see Jonathan Brown back. Well, I'm sure we're going to be talking about him at some point tonight. Starting to his outside, a car that, well, he built years ago, the number 39, Gerald Robinson Jr. in the Tea-Time Spirits machine.
Thanks for helping me out there, Dylan. I'm clearly
good.
not very good at
Hey,
counting.
I couldn't talk before, so, you're just trying to make me feel better.
It's okay. You can't talk, but you did some impressive math. So between the two of us, I think
math, I failed at.
You and me both. You and me both. Hey, let's finish this lineup here. So I believe that's William Smith starting in the 17th position, driving that number 99. And beside him, driving that number 6 is Slate Myers.
Slate Myers, the son of Burt Myers, fourth-generation driver. And speaking of generations, the daughter of Alfred Hill starts in the 19th position. The Phoenix Packaging, number 77, Susan Harwell. And starting to her outside, Brendan Butner in the backup Butner machine, the number 35. And the last row tonight, Ethan Stoltz will drive the backup car for Tim Brown, the number 88. And listed in the final spot, Corey Levette in the number 14 machine. This is your lineup for tonight's first Twin 50 for the NASCAR Brad's Golf Carts Modifieds, and it's going to be a barn burner. You know why? Here's the unique part. The Twin 25s, they're kind of interesting, but when there's a yellow flag, there's single file restarts. There's no choose cone. Well, this right here, the Twin 50s, we get double file restarts, and boy, oh boy, we get that choose cone. Gotta love it.
The choose cone almost makes for, it's like a game inside the race in itself.
I love it. The choose cone is what the fans love here at Bowman Gray Stadium because it gives guys that are, trying to make their way back up through the field a shot to take a risk because the outside here in a NASCAR modified is not fun. It's not the quick way to get around, but if you want to take the risk and put it to the top and maybe gain a few spots, you can do that here. Here's the East concession, selling some hot dogs. I can go for some popcorn.
What happened to our donuts?
I don't know. Zach's a little late on the donuts. I guess it was because the stadium stocks are first. He sponsors 2 stadium stocks. He sponsors Blaine Curry's 16 and the Chuck Wall number 81 machine. So he's probably busy watching them. Hopefully, I don't know, cinnamon sugar maybe, powder, both. I heard they have like honey. I like honey.
I don't discriminate against my donuts. I'll take whatever.
No. Oh, Hurricane Herrera back here in the booth with us. She just nodded to the honey. There we go. I got to ask Zach, because it's always been little donuts. Why are we seeing mini donuts now?
Rebrand.
Maybe there's a rebrand going on here. This is breaking news. I mean, Twitter might be fired up about this now.
You can't just go changing stuff here at Bowman Gray.
No.
It's not how it works around here.
No, man. Is it little donuts? Or is it mini donuts? Social media says Little Donuts right there. See it? Oh, yeah. Follow us at Little Donuts. Why does he have mini donuts up top? I got to work with old Zach on his branding here because he's got one heck of a product. And you see to the left there's a great concession stand, like a souvenir stand where you get awesome Bowman Gray Stadium T-shirts. I bring my kid here, and now I can't bring him out there amongst the fans because I'm working. But, we took a walk right before the broadcast last week, and, this place is such a special place to bring a child to because it just captures their little imaginations as they look over, through the slots when you're walking up there and you see cars on the track and the green grass of the football field and the red and white walls and the people and the sounds and the sights. And then you've got, popcorn and peanuts and ice cream and slushies. It's just like a carnival-esque atmosphere here, and it's captivating.
So similarly, I don't have kids.
No, okay.
I do have a husband.
I've got 2. Well, that's like having a kid.
Well,
my wife
that's
will tell you
why
that
I
too.
said similarly. But no, and he didn't grow up in racing at all, and
we could change
he loves Bowman Gray.
Oh, sweet.
And that's just drives your point home there that it's really for everybody, and it captures your fascination of racing. There's nothing like racing here at Bowman Gray.
And folks, we're up here in a booth, okay, high above the front straightaway, right above the flag stand. And I got to tell you, this is one of the prettiest racetrack booth views I've ever seen. I hit my 215th racetrack. Just the other day, I was in Ohio at Chillicothe Speedway, Atomic Speedway in Chillicothe, Ohio. And, there's nothing like this place. There's nothing as beautiful and aesthetically pleasing as this place. But speaking of that, it's time to go. Lights are out on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicles. Right now, the thunder of modifieds files in behind 2x2x2. NASCAR's original division in 1948, and the tradition carries on, the 75th anniversary of NASCAR auto racing. These are the drivers that live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. The fans are on their feet, and the modifieds are green at Bowman Gray. The drag race into the south turn is on, and now the drag race into the north turn. Who's it going to be? Ward on the inside, Brown hanging on the outside. What a battle! Brandon Ward in the lead. Filing into second is Tim Brown and that number 83. The number 4 of Jason Myers in fourth. Lee Jeffries, your quick time today in Brad's Golf Cars Modified qualifying, files into fourth. Chris Fleming in fifth. Bumper tag behind them right now. Fans are on their feet because there was a little bumper tag involving Burt Myers in the mid-pack. John Holloman with trouble on the front straightaway. That's going to bring out your caution 811 call before you dig. Caution flag. And, oh, boy, John Holloman with a little bumper tag. He slowed on the front stretch, bringing out that yellow flag. He's now going back to the pits, I believe. He's going to pull that number 69 back behind the field house.
He got kind of shuffled out of line there, I
Yep.
noticed on the backstretch. So
Yeah, there's bumper tag back there between a bunch of them, and I do not know what happened. It was crazy. The front was tame. The mid-pack, absolutely not. And when Burt Myers had some contact in there, it was amazing because I saw, like, you know, if we have about 12, 13,000 people here today, maybe, like half of them got on their feet. There is the Burt Myers #1 machine, Backyard Leisure Citrus Safe #1. 89-time winner, trying to make it 90. Look at the front bumper, a little bit of a bend in that front bumper. That's a famed front bumper. There's not many modified drivers in the history of our sport that have an iconic bumper. You could say Teddy Christopher had an iconic bumper, and that's because he used it. This right here is an iconic bumper visually, because no matter what the livery has been on that #1 machine, it's been orange. Oh boy, Zach Taylor is here with Little Donuts in the booth. Zach, come here, buddy. Real quick, we gotta clear up something. It is. Come close to the mic. Is it Little Donuts?
Little Donuts.
Why do you have the sign now that says Mini Donuts?
Just to help a little bit of confusion.
That's okay. Hey, we love you here at Flow Racing. We're gonna clear up the marketing. We're gonna clear up the brand strategy, because we love Little Donuts in here, and you are a huge part of the culture of Bowman Gray. Why does a company like yourself, besides making money, the obvious reason businesses, come here to Bowman Gray in this great, incredible atmosphere?
Oh, we love it. I mean, we've been coming here for as long as I can remember, especially with my father-in-law, Chuck Wall Racing. We grew up here. We love it. It's a fun environment. It's good entertainment. It's cheap. You can't beat it.
That's right. And for race fans that come here, they're not only entertained here on the racetrack, they're entertained in this outer ring around this beautiful stadium. You could get slushies and ice cream and donuts and barbecue and hot dogs. And, God, I'm getting hungry now. Well, Zach, thanks for bringing the Little Donuts. It's just become a tradition of the Flow Racing booth here. And it should be a tradition for you if you attend the races here at Bowman Gray. And, hey, guess what? Perfect segue, because we're about to go back to green flag racing for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division. 4 laps on the board here in the Modified Twin 50 #1. Choosing the cone to the outside was the number 83. No big surprises in the cone right there. All right, the ground pounders set to take the green once again. The Thunder Road Grill Twin 50 back underway. I like the fact that the number 83 is trying hard on that outside, not getting the traction he needs. He files into second. But Chris Fleming with a bold power move from the outside around Jason Myers. Give him third position. Wow, that was a close call for Lee Jeffries, last week's winner. Sideways through the turn there, sideways on the straightaway. Great save by the number 75.
once again, that first line of cars seems to have lined up where chaos happens here in the back of the field.
Junior Snow there, we are seeing side-by-side action throughout this field. The leaders, though, are kind of stretched out in single file right now. Junior Snow just behind them again, side-by-side. He gets the spot past Spini. 7 laps in. These race car drivers will use these same tires for the next 50 lapper. No tire changes. Unless you damage a tire, then you have to go to the official and talk to them about how you're going to replace it and what's going to happen. So it's interesting. You know, these tires, though, you know, talking to a few of these competitors today, I was wondering about that, because I was wondering after that 100 lapper last week, you know, there's a few cars that lost their handling at the end of it, but it really didn't look like the speeds dropped off very much. And that's because these tires, they don't really have that much fall off on them. The drivers are saying this, you know, between the tires and the new pavement, really they're not seeing much fall off at all. Ten laps on the board, and you're seeing Burt Myers right there with Lee Jeffries behind him. Last week, flip-flopped that. It was Lee Jeffries in the lead, and Burt Myers throwing Hail Marys, using that bumper to try to get around Jeffries. But Lee Jeffries, the master of defense, and that was a masterful job. You got to give him a tip of the cap for hanging on to it with severe shots to the back bumper of that 75 to get his 25th career win at Bowman Gray Stadium. Still up front, it's Brandon Ward in the New Day Motorsports Q104.1 machine, gray and red livery. We're used to seeing that thing, if you're a Bowman Gray traditionalist, being all black. But guess what? Brandon Ward's got a new look on the side of that machine, and boy, it looks good up front of that field right now.
Well, and in a very different choice of paint scheme colors, the bright neon 83 of Tim Brown continues to ride in second behind him. About a car length, though, between those two drivers, so plenty of racing to go, only 15 laps in.
Interesting battle going on behind them right now. Burt Myers is all over his brother, right there in the right side of your screen. There it is. Burt Myers had just given a few shots to the back bumper of the number 4 machine. That's his little brother, Jason Myers there. So the QRC HVAC number 4 there of Jason Myers, who sits in 4th, and 5th position is older brother, and older brother is losing a little bit of patience here behind the number 4. Let's keep an eye on this battle right here. The leaders are kind of stretched out, but Burt Myers atop the point standings here in the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division, and he wants to get a good finish here. Remember, they're going to invert 6. So invert 6 for the second 50 lapper, one of those rare times where we know what the invert will be. Now Jason getting some good drive off the corner, spacing it out a little bit more, 20 laps into this 50-lap race. Your leader still Brennan Ward. Second place is the number 83 car, the Jerry Hunt Supercenter machine of Tim Brown. Tim Brown, the orange car you see on your screen right there. He was sick last week, so sick he could barely get in his race car, but he still muscled it and survived miraculously for 100 laps last week. And there was a few times on the track last week where he really missed his mark and was driving high and kind of a little erratic on the racetrack, and it was noticeable to me in the booth. And I talked to Tim, and he said he was just really not feeling well. He feels a lot better this week, some sort of an infection, intestinal infection that he had. And I'll tell you what, Tim Brown qualified pretty well today. He looks a lot better. Last week, he had to get pulled out of his race car. You know, at the end of the night, he had so little energy. He was so sick.
Well, it's impressive already to be that sick and finish the race, but he brought it home in 6th. And you see why it was important for him to obviously continue to run. He's sitting right now second in the points behind Burt Myers. Just about 20 points separating the two, and as we mentioned earlier in the evening, next week starts double points. So still a lot of potential there for Tim Brown to catch up as we have plenty of racing left this season.
Oh, there's a battle brewing in the north turn right now, and it's Speeney in the number 37 machine, Mike Speeney, and he's got a mirror full of John Boy. John Boy's return to the Madhouse. He's driving the Tiger Tommy Neal, number 21, and he just gave a few big shots to Speeney about 2 laps ago, had him completely sideways in the north turn. Let's see if John Boy can catch the back bumper of this 37. This has been a ferocious battle. Oh, just then the yellow flag comes out, and it's Danny Probst. The Flying Taco has gone around in turn number 2. What do you think of the nickname?
I love it. And apparently he loves it too.
Yeah, do you like tacos?
I love tacos.
I love tacos. How do you like your taco?
Medium rare? I don't know. What kind of a question is that?
I don't know. Like, do you like street tacos, hard shell, like American style
okay.
tacos? Do you like, meat and cilantro and onion, traditional style?
See, again, much like my donuts, I don't discriminate against my tacos. I eat
yeah.
just about anything, but I do love like a classic like street taco with a corn tortilla and some cilantro on top. Nothing fancy. A little onion maybe.
The good stuff, not the Americanized taco.
No.
Not your hard shell with ground beef and cheese and sour cream.
Yeah. No crunch wraps or anything like that.
No. I like that. The cone is already coming out, so this is going to be a quickie yellow flag. The cone, we'll see who chooses. We know Brandon Ward is going to choose the inside for the cone here. Let's see what Tim Brown does if he repeats and takes the outside. Yes, he does. Chris Fleming chooses the inside from 3rd. Wow, the number 4, Jason Myers, chooses there, and then Burt Myers takes the outside, so he will slot up into the 4th position on this restart. And the next one to choose the high side is Mike Speeney, which is probably good for him to get away from John Boy because they were playing some bumper tag there. But he moves up about 4 spots in that silver gray number 37.
As does that 44 of Daniel Beeson, who also chose the outside and is going to file in right behind him.
Beeson fresh off his best career finish last week in a modified. Green flag is back out. They fire side by side. Ward to the lead. Here comes the number 16. But no, Brown closes the door. Trouble in turn number 1. Kyle Southern goes around, makes contact with the wall. He continues on, but too late. The yellow flag is out.
Gonna re-rack him here.
Have you tried a little donut yet?
I have not.
Come
and
on.
you know what? Before I do, I just want to clarify something. While we're going through the rebranding, it's Lil Donuts.
Lil Donuts.
You gotta drop the T's.
You're right.
You gotta drop the T's.
Remember, I can't talk.
No, actually, you're
They pay me to
pronunciating
talk
a
for
little
some
too
reason.
much. A little too much, I should say.
A little too much.
Yeah.
A little too much.
Oh,
Okay.
this looks
Here we go.
great.
Here we go. It's you don't have. Thank God there's no camera in the booth. It's a mess up here. There's
Yeah,
powdered
it
sugar
is.
everywhere. But let's see, Jesse
And I haven't
Punch.
even eaten a donut yet.
Jesse
so.
Punch. Let's get your first take here as we look at the choose cone here, and see who's going to choose. And yeah, she just laughed at me. And powdered sugar is flying everywhere.
Oh.
It looks like stars and stuff flying everywhere in this booth. To the inside goes Brandon Ward. To the outside, Tim Brown inside for the 16. Burt Myers takes the outside again. Kind of a repeat here. Speeney, though, chooses the inside because he's gained all those spots already. Might as well take advantage of it. Lee Jeffries hops up to the outside. How's the donut, real quick?
Yeah, thanks for taking that one for me. I was chewing.
I did that before. When you were talking, I was chewing.
Just fabulous.
Teamwork
No
makes the dream work.
exaggeration. Might be one of the best donuts I've ever had. It tastes like little funnel cakes.
Yeah.
Little funnel cakes.
All right. You let me know when you want a donut break.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'll just keep
We
on
need
talking.
like a code word.
31 laps on the board. Thunder Road Grill Modified Twin 50s, back green. Brandon Ward, Burt, oh, wow. Tim Brown holding on strong through the turn there. He files his way to the bottom right there, but that's something to keep an eye on right there. He's probably faring a lot better than I've seen a lot of cars on the front row.
Let 75, but Lee Jeffries just jumped to the front of the 4.
Oh,
Jason Myers is losing position there.
the yellow flag again. Once again, it's Kyle Southern. Second time the yellow comes out in a row for the driver of the number 9, Tobacco Ridge Machine. Beautiful race car right there for Kyle Southern, who injured his hand earlier in the year, has been out for some weeks. Great to see him back in the modified wars here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Well, it is a nice paint scheme.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's slick. It's aggressive.
It's intimidating. I like that.
I like the rake of the number, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Talk, Punch.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna eat. I'm gonna eat.
as
You talk.
as Steelers choose, I'll take this one for you guys. No, on the real though, back to the donuts. Those were fabulous. So Zach, thank you very much. That was very kind of you to bring these up here.
Welcome to the Flow Racing
yeah,
booth.
you
The
know
best
what?
kept secret in all of motorsports is this booth right here because we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we have fun.
Look, all I have to say is, when I was calling races here many a years ago, like 4 years ago, when we were trying to figure this thing out on the roof, and here I come back now and you guys are having craft services delivered to the booth. I'm like, geez.
Oh man, I mean, I just can't wait for Zach. Zach, okay, once we figure out your branding, we're gonna come. You're gonna have a shrimp cocktail stand.
Oh.
I just want shrimp cocktail
I
delivered
love
to the booth.
that.
All right, the cone is out. Repeat right here, but Burt Myers comes out to the outside. Will slot 4th. No big surprises here in the choose cone, or with the choose cone. I don't know what's in the choose cone. We'd have to lift it up to find out.
You don't want to do that.
No. Matt Garrison will, though, our assistant starter,
Trained
as the last
professional.
Modify comes by. Yeah, trained professional. Already better than Jeff Bunton.
Was that
We love you,
shade?
Jeff. That was shade at my buddy. He was here last week. He did a good job. JB's probably watching from the couch right now. Green flag back out. Trouble for Burt Myers. Burt Myers slow on the outside. Jams up everyone. Speeney goes around. Beeson hard into the wall in the south turn.
about 6 modifieds collected in that madness there.
Daniel Beeson's night ends up in the wall. Oh boy, that was a hard shot that he took right there. Last week, a 4th place finish, 121 career starts in his family-owned cars, but 8 starts in that New Day Motorsports car, and great to see last week that 8th place finish, but now he's ended in a heap. Let's take a look at the replay. Burt Myers got caught up on that restart, almost like he missed a shift or something. You see Speeney tried to get down, a little contact there with Junior Snow. That sends Speeney spinning around. Snow tries to turn right to go around him, but there is Beeson to his outside, and boom! Nothing he could do at that point, but hang on. Great replay there by our Flow Racing cameras. There is Daniel Beeson climbing from the New Day Motorsports iHeartRadio number 44 to check out and assess the damage on the right front of that machine. New Day Motorsports expanding to a 2-car effort this week. Right now their other car is your leader, but now Beeson hopping on the Midway Mobile Storage pace vehicle there, the Gator, whatever we call it. Jimmy Brown giving him the ride to the pit area.
You mentioned him getting out and assessing the damage on that race car,
Wait, hold on. Is that a new leader? Is that a new leader?
Looks like it.
On the scoreboard, folks, it says that Tim Brown has the lead. This is interesting. So the green flag came out. That was a rather quick yellow. Right now, scoring is saying that the 83 is in the lead. Interesting, folks. At the time of the yellow, I'm wondering about this. Oh, the plot thickens.
And it's just getting started. Just
That's
under
right.
20 laps left in this race and a whole another 50 to go and just a little bit later on tonight.
They're stopping some of the modifieds on the front straightaway. We've got a little bit of a cleanup here in turn number 1. Some oil down on that track. Jimmy Brown and his crew, Squeak, and all the guys doing a great job down there with the track crew, getting this thing all cleaned up and ready to go for. Let's take a look at this replay here. And Tim Brown did get the lead going into the turn. What an incredible lunge there. We were looking right there at the action going on. When the yellow comes out right about there,
Yeah.
Tim Brown is your leader. Great call by the officials here at Bowman Gray Stadium. When the yellow flag from the outside is the 12-time champion there. A motor move on the outside. It takes a lot of chutzpah to do it from the top.
And a very clean pass,
Yeah.
too.
Have you ever used the word chutzpah? Oh,
Can't
Burt Myers pitted?
say I have.
Sorry, a little voice in my ear. Did you hear that voice? That's back
didn't
in
get,
Charlotte.
I didn't get that one.
Yeah, it said Burt Myers pitted.
Oh, well.
From the 4th position, Burt Myers is now behind the field house. The plot thickens even more, Jesse Punch. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, the voices in my head don't give me that kind of information. I'm impressed.
I appreciate Jackson, man. Like, he noticed it, and I looked up, and I didn't notice it.
It's a big notice.
That's a huge notice.
Yeah.
Jackson, you are for real.
Well, between... No. What I was going to say was, between lead changes and cars entering the pits, we're missing it all up here.
Well, at least there's something to miss.
I'm going to have a donut.
Yeah, just have a donut. You know, I can't speak. You know, you're trying your little donuts for the first time. You know, cats and dogs are living together. It's a wild night here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and it's not over yet. Oh, man. I did get a text message from my buddy Kevin Hughes with Racing Electronics that he's back at the Madhouse tonight. Good to see that. Eric Morse and his wife here for the first time in 2023, getting a little week off from the Cup schedule to come out here. And great to see the crowd here at Bowman Gray Stadium. It started out a little slim pickings. You know, I think that was because of the heat. But, man, they filed in pretty nicely here on a Saturday night in Winston-Salem.
Well, and something that I noticed neat about them filing in tonight, and you brought it up earlier, is the app. So there's no shortage still, of course, of lines outside of this place. Fans waiting at the gates to get in. But I noticed that they get them in a lot quicker. It's great.
Oh, great job by our camera crew right there looking in at the number 1 car. In the pits is Burt Myers. I know they were having trouble after qualifying with the distributor on the number 1. I'm not sure if that's Burt's car right there or if that's the Slate Myers machine. The window net is down, so I think that might be Slate's machine. I'm not sure, because they are identical. Burt Myers has not re-entered the track, folks. This is huge. Burt Myers has not re-entered the track, and we're talking about your point leader by quite a good margin. The only division that really has a good margin. I'm not good at math, but I believe it's like 17, 18, 19 points or 19 points that he has the lead in the division over Tim Brown, who currently sits in the lead. So if we want to talk about big swings, tonight is a potential huge swing for the driver of the Hayes Jewelers Jerry Hunt Supercenter Orange Modified. That is your leader right now. This could be huge implications in the point standings at Bowman Gray. Burt Myers with 1 win on the season. Tim Brown was your only repeat winner up until last week when Lee Jeffrey scored his 2nd win of the season, and now we get to choose. The choose cone is out. We know that the leader's going to choose the bottom. Here comes Brandon Ward putting it to the top. Next car, bottom. Who's going to choose the top? Junior Snow is the 2nd car to choose the top in the Units DL Outfitters number 51.
There's the 3rd. The 10 of Dan Speeney.
Wow, Speeney gets to make up some good spots there. All right. Lights are out on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicles. It enters around the 10-yard line to the infield football field grass. And coming out of the north turn, the modifieds go green, lap 35. Sparks fly. Ho, 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 ho. This is modified racing. The gloves are coming off. 15 laps to go.
Oh, a lot of contact there in turn 4. That 37 getting shuffled to the outside and losing a lot of positions there.
Yeah, these modifieds don't like to be on the top, I'll tell you that. Even though Tim Brown might have started a little trend there of getting around for the lead, these modifieds open-wheeled rockets do not fare well with very little grip on the outside on this new pavement. Tim Brown, your leader. 2nd place, Brandon Ward. Chris Fleming in 3rd. Junior Snow in 4th position now. He used the choose cone to his advantage. 5th position hanging on right now is a very ill handling number 75 of Lee Jeffries. Yellow flag is out in the south turn. Dan Speeney, the number 37. Mike Speeney. Wrong Speeney. Welcome to the Speeney family, Dillner. I got to get it wrong at least once a night. Speeney's car is stopped there. The shooting target's number 37 in right smack in the middle of turn number 1 and turn number 2. This is a perfect time with only a handful of laps to go to take a quick break on Flow Racing. We will come back with the conclusion of the first modified Twin 50.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
right, we are back live on Flow Racing. And interesting modified race so far. We've had Tim Brown taking the lead on the outside on a restart that got the yellow flag immediately brought out with a mayhem of a wreck there that sent Daniel Beeson into the wall hard in the turn. And now Mike Speeney bringing out this latest caution call, 811. Don't call 188. That wouldn't work. That's definitely not the number for the caution flag.
Or do, and ask him.
Or just say, hey, have you ever heard of the 811?
Say, hey, Matt Dillner sent me.
I wonder what call 188 would do, or 118.
You want to find out?
No. Oh, boy. Jackson, our director, says, yes, I want to find out what happens. Jackson, you could call. You let us know.
Call and tell him Matt Dillner sent you.
Yeah. All right, still under caution right now as Squeak and the boys get things all settled up and cleaned up here. A little bit of a beach in the turn. Eddie Hackett and them getting this thing underway, and the Gator over there in turn 1 and 2 conferring with each other to make sure the racing surface is ready to go for these 600 horsepower ground pounders. And pretty soon Matt Garrison will enter the front stretch with the cone, I believe, next time by.
A front stretch filled with race fans, might I add. Did you see that shot? That last shot there, that camera angle?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Nothing like it anywhere. You know, even when this place has a few little empty seats, you know, it's still about, I'd say it's about 13,000 people tonight in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is the thing to do. It's not a movie theater. It's not a concert. It's NASCAR racing. Matt Garrison gently putting the cone in unbelievable fashion, dead centered, measured, and precisely and perfectly.
Wow. What finesse.
Yes. The glove. That's what does it. The gloves. No surprises here. Here comes the 75 of Lee Jeffries, the second one to take the outside. Let's note that Burt Myers has not returned to the track, so we talk about the big swing in points. Tim Brown wants victories, but he just needs to hang on because this is a huge, huge swing in the points. 38 laps on the board as we come to the green flag here. Tim Brown, the first to fire. Side by side down into the south turn they go. Brandon Ward on the outside. Will he be able to file into second? Chris Fleming side by side with Lee Jeffries behind them. Jeffries struggling a little bit about on the outside. He follows in. Top five, single file. Coming to 10 laps to go for the Mod Squad here at Bowman Gray. Twin 50, number 1. Stretching his legs a little bit out of the front of this field. Oh, we've got a big wreck. Big wreck in the outside barrier, the tire barrier.
That's the 9 again of Kyle Southern.
Driver's side first for Kyle Southern. A very tough wreck. Safety crew on the scene with Kyle Southern. As the cars are now stopped on the back straightaway. Hard impact for the driver of the number 9 machine. Kyle Southern, a resident of King, North Carolina, broke his wrist the opening night here at Bowman Gray Stadium, resulting in a 23rd place finish. Great to see him return. Getting word that I think Kyle Southern has, there's been a thumbs up that Kyle Southern is okay, A-OK there. Great news to hear. You know, these race cars right here, people underestimate the speed of a NASCAR modified. They are, you know, we say NASCAR's first division. They're really their most powerful division. These things are so lightweight, only weighing 2,650 pounds and 600-plus horsepower out of these machines. Open wheels, lots of grip in those tires that makes them go even faster around the corners. So when there is trouble, it can get big in an open-wheel race car. Let's take a quick commercial break because it looks like they are getting the tow truck hooked up to the number 9 machine. We'll come right back on Flow Racing. Got word that Kyle Southern is A-OK. That's great news. We'll come back live on Flow Racing. Thank you.
Back here at the Madhouse, currently under caution during the first of our twin 50-lap modified races here this evening. Caution is out for the number 9 of Kyle Southern. The tow truck is currently getting that car off the track. But while we wait to get things going again, I am up here in the booth with my buddy Matt Dillner, and you said something earlier a couple times that I thought was very impressive. You said this is night number 1,087 of racing here at Bowman Gray Stadium. We don't need to just gloss over that. That is an incredible amount of history of racing here. How many of those nights do you think you've been here to experience?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I think the first time I came here was maybe in 99 or maybe 2000, and came here with a bunch of friends and sat on the bottom, Section 9.
Section 9.
And I was hooked ever since, and this place has such incredible history. I am very fortunate from being able to be part of the history here from the grandstands to covering the sport for, back then it was a site called speed51.com. Did a feature about this place for Totally NASCAR back in the day. Now full circle, being able to be part of Flow Racing, NASCAR Roots, and their coverage is something I don't take for granted. This place is just magic, and the history here is unmistakable, and, that leads me to my favorite thing of the night, and that's History Nugget. Look at the number 9 driving away. That's good news that Kyle Southern is okay, too, but this weekend, Jesse Punch, 1952, the NASCAR Grand National cars came to Bowman Gray Stadium for the very first time as a part of NASCAR's short track circuit. They ran a short track circuit back then. 12,000 fans packed the joint. Remember, we didn't have the full seating here we have now in the turn. 37-year-old driver, you might have heard of him, from Randall, North Carolina, Lee Petty came out on top that night. Lee Petty, yes, the patriarch of one of NASCAR's and America's greatest racing families. Petty drove a 1951 Plymouth to the lead on the 38th circuit of the 150-lap race and beat an Ohio driver named Ray Duhigg to the line. Ralph Ligori from the Bronx in New York, he was third. And Billy Myers of the famed Myers family came home fourth. But that was this weekend in 1952.
Wow. Right here.
That's 71 years ago?
Sure.
Sure.
Works for me.
Quick math.
Yep.
Lights are out
I'm
on the pace
impressed.
car. No, two booth. We need a booth person that's good at math. Stat boy Elgin Trailer's on camera tonight. I know he's good at math. We don't have Justin Mincy in the booth this week because he's recovering from Achilles surgery. So we're lacking in the math department. But one thing we know, it's lap 41 as the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds take the green. Tim Brown, your leader. Brandon Ward settles into second. Coming to 8 laps to go. Brandon Ward all over the backside of the number 83. Lee Jeffries kind of fading back into the 5th position. Give the 4th position to the young Junior Snow, the young star of the modified division. The number 51 right there, Units Machine. Great run for the Snowman. Great to see that number 51 up front, that family-operated machine showing some speed tonight in the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds.
Just 6 laps to go now. That 83 of Tim Brown continues to lead. The front of this field really has fallen in single file. Do you think they'll stay that way?
I think so. I mean, if Brandon Ward has a shot, he'll take it. But 5 laps to go right now. I don't know if he will. Great to see also the number 21 car, his return to the stadium. And very noted that he is in 6th position right now is John Boy, Jonathan Brown, and the Tiger Tommy Neal machine running in 6th. There will be an invert of 6 tonight. So if he finishes there, he will start on the pole in his return to the Madhouse, the driver, the number 21. Coming to 2 laps to go for the Rocket, Tim Brown. There is the number 21 on your screen, the white machine. Now back to Tim Brown as we close out this puppy 50-lapper for the Thunder Road Grill Twin 50s night. White flag is out from Brad. Look at this. The Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds all stretched right around this field, and there's no contest at the front because the driver of the number 83 will pick up career win 97. Give it to the Rocket, Tim Brown. No contest. He did it from the outside on a restart. Brandon Ward finishes 2nd. Chris Fleming 3rd. 4th for the Snowman, Junior Snow. 5th for Lee Jeffries. 6th for John Boy, Jonathan Brown. 7th will be Jason Myers. 8th, Randy Butner. 9th, the Flying Taco. And 10th, Gerald Robinson Jr.
One name you didn't hear in there, the one of Burt Myers. Still in the pits, which is why this win is even bigger for Tim Brown because he's sitting right now in 2nd in the points behind Burt.
Very familiar sight here at Bowman Gray Stadium because we've seen it 97 times now, is the number 83 taking that famed Bowman Gray Stadium checkered flag for a trip around the famed quarter mile. His first win at the stadium came in 1993, in May of 1993, and now 2023. Still the winning ways for the Browns. Of course, a racing family legacy that runs very deep here at the Madhouse. Let's throw it down to Randy Pulliam for a very popular victory lane for tonight's first winner for the modified Twin 50s, Tim Brown.
Numbers 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. The number that Tim draws will determine how the field is inverted for the second 50-lap event under the elite underground utility Madhouse scramble format. Momentarily, keep your eyes on the scoreboard and you'll see the number that the Rocket draws. In the meantime, coming up next is the second 20-lap event for the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Series. Look at the scoreboard. Number 8. Climbing out of the cockpit. as a winner for the 97th time in his Bowman Gray career, the Rocket, Tim Brown. Tim getting some hydration. Tim, his wife and children down here to greet him. Tim, I understand you're still under the weather, and I imagine you've got a heavy, heavy heart this evening.
Yeah, I still don't feel like being here and doing this, but we got the job done tonight. And man, it's tough right here. We lost a long-time crew member, Ronnie Clifton, this week. We buried him yesterday. I got a picture of him in my car with me tonight, and the family's here. Really emotional. Ronnie, you'll always be with us. Love you, buddy. We'll always miss you.
Well, Tim, this is your third win of the season. It's interesting. You drew number 8. That's the best you could have drawn. And back in 2018, you pulled off a double with a couple of 50-lap wins. What do you think about your chances tonight?
I'm the only one that can do it tonight, so we're going to go give it all we can. You know, basically just blessed to win this race tonight, and the good Lord's looking out for us for just giving me the help to be here tonight, and, you know, giving, you know, Ronnie's up there in heaven watching down on us, and my grandpa and my daddy and all the loved ones we've lost. And it's just a special night for my family to win tonight when Ronnie passing away this week. And Ronnie, this one's for you, and we miss you, buddy.
Congratulations once again to Tim Brown, making his way over to the Carolina Wood Floors winner's circle to pick up some hardware.
And to Ronnie Clifton, a longtime pit crew member. Ronnie, as he used to like to call him, Rooney. They had his funeral yesterday. So big thoughts and prayers to that family. And, you know, I know the hearts are hurting in that team right now, but what a way to heal with visiting victory lane for Tim Brown. And on the other hand, their nemesis, Burt Myers, finishes outside of the top 10 the last time he did so, 25 races ago, June 4th, 2022. Wow. So that's a big swing. So modified race number 1 is done in the books. Your winner is Tim Brown. Folks, we got the second sportsman race coming up live on Flow Racing, then another race for the modified. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bowman Gray Stadium. Still the most exciting of them all, and it's the night of twins for the Thunder Road Grill twin modified races, 50 lappers. Tim Brown winning race number 1. We'll have another modified race, but first, the second twin 20 lapper for the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Division. And it will be interesting with the 12-car invert of this field, and especially with that number 12 you see on the outside. He got turned around by Zach Orr in the first race, and he starts in the outside of the front row. So let's give you the starting lineup here for the second sportsman event. Starting out on the outside, you saw that beautiful number 15 from Lexington, North Carolina, the Carolina Cowboys machine. It's the number 15, I'll say it again, the 15 of T. Dawson. To the outside, slated to start to the outside, is the number 54 of Braden Mills from Wahlberg, North Carolina.
What car is T. Dawson driving tonight?
Number 15.
Number
It's a
15. Well,
I
starting
think it's a 15.
starting behind that number 15 in the third position, driving the 38 from Thomasville, North Carolina, is Mitch Gales. And just beside him, driving that number 12 from King, North Carolina, that's Justin Taylor.
Starting fifth tonight is the young man from Lexington, North Carolina, the driver of the Cam Nall Construction number 7, Connor Branch, and to his outside, the great veteran, the master of this division currently from Walkertown, North Carolina, the 55-time winner, the number 21, Tiger, Tommy Neal.
Another Lexington native starting in the 7th position, that's Nate Gregg driving the number 28. And just beside him in that 55, Zach Orr, the Winston-Salem native, starting in the 8th position.
Starting 9th tonight, the young man in the 07, the other Neal in the field, the real deal, the 07 of Riley Neal. And to the outside, your current point leader, the number 31 from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a generational talent is this young high school graduate. It's Chase Robertson in the Jerry Hunt Supercenter, number 31.
Sterling Plemons in that 03 here from Winston-Salem. He'll be starting in the 11th position. And Michael Adams in that 19. We saw him win the first sportsman race of the evening and drew that 12 invert, so he's starting number 12.
Starting lucky 13, and an unlucky night so far for this young lady. Driver of the Mark Robertson for Governor, number 2 from Walkertown, North Carolina, it's Amber Lynn. And to the outside, the number 37 machine of Chris Massey from Puffdown, North Carolina.
Starting in the 15th position from Lexington, North Carolina, driving the number 6, it's Kirk Sheets. And driving the number 22, starting in the 16th position, Wesley Thompson. And rounding out the field in the number 13, that's Tucker Myers.
Well, the sportsman cars are all lined up and ready to go. Before we start talking about the sportsman and calling the race here, I do need to correct myself. I heard in the drivers' meeting that the invert was 6 for the modifieds. That was for qualifying. The invert was drawn after the race, so the 8th place starter will start on the pole. I wanted to correct myself there. The invert for the second Twin 50 is 8 for the Brad's Golf Cars modifieds. All right. Ready to get down to brass tacks here. Twin race number 2 for the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Division here on night 1087. NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing will go green. Second twin feature underway. Great run from the outside there for Justin Taylor. Unbelievable charge to the lead. T. Dawson in second. Now here comes Tiger Tommy Neal on the outside around the Carolina Cowboys, number 15. Give the second spot to Tiger Tommy Neal. Zach Orr follows suit on the outside. The hard way to get around. Great drive off for the 55. Now Zach Orr to the back bumper of Tiger Tommy Neal. Big contact right there coming off of turn number 4. Let's keep our eye on that. The 55, one of the most aggressive race car drivers at Bowman Gray Stadium. Back behind them right now, Chase Robertson, the points leader, trying to get around T. Dawson, moves him up high. There is trouble all around this racetrack, and the number 38 has spun right there of Mitch Gales.
And that started with the number 31 of Chase Robertson. He was aggressive coming around turns 3 and 4, and ultimately it just caused calamity.
Yeah,
How
he
about
was
that
aggressive.
for a word?
He was aggressive trying to get around T. Dawson, who was on the inside, kind of holding him up there a little bit. And he decided to give him a little suggestion into the third turn that moved him up and caused that calamity. But the unfortunate victim of that is the Auto Supply of Thomasville, number 38, 6-time winner here at Bowman Gray Stadium of Mitch Gales. So unfortunately, Mitch goes to the tail. He tags the tail of the field. Justin Taylor, donkey strong in the lead. Let's take a look at this replay. I think we got it here. This would be great to see what happened here on Flow Racing. As we see the cheers and jeers. These fans. I love this camera shot. It's my favorite of all time.
I like seeing the faces in the bottom left corner.
Oh, man. It's great. I love the your number ones thumbs up, the thumbs down, and the other type of your number ones. Look at that right there. No hood on the 21 in second place. There's the fans leaning over.
No hood on those guys either. Going shirtless tonight. It's a beautiful night out here, so I can't blame them.
All right, here we go. 4 laps on the scoreboard here on the field house as we get ready to take the green. Mitch Gales has re-entered the racetrack. Good to see him back at full song. Green flag is out. Donkey Strong in the lead, but to the bottom right off the restart. Tommy Neal side by side, swapping fenders, paint swapping between those two. Here comes Tiger Tommy Neal. He has the lead going into the north turn. Zach Orr follows suit on the bottom, suggesting his way by the number 12. The new leader, Tiger Tommy Neal. Justin Taylor gets moved up the track. Here comes Chase Robertson. Opportunity knocks, and he comes calling into third position. Yellow flag is out. Massey spun off of turn number 4.
If that yellow hadn't come out, that 12 of Justin Taylor was going to continue to lose position as the 19 of Michael Adams was making a move on the inside. He's lucky that yellow came out as he was kind of stuck there on the top.
Tough night for Massey, the driver, that 37, Chris Massey, making his first start here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Last race, getting involved as a lap vehicle and almost ending the night of the leader and eventual winner in something that was actually really funny. Somebody texted me. I've got to pull up this text right here about that pass in the grass, as we kind of called it. Eric Moore said it was the most unnecessary pass in the grass, but it sure was a crowd pleaser.
You're not wrong. He has had kind of a rough night, but
here's the Flow Racing replay from that camera. Let's see if we can see what happens here. There is Massey spinning out on his own, it appears, right there.
Very much still learning, the young driver, but we saw it last race. We're seeing him learn actively. He was learning how to get out of the way when he was lapped traffic. It's part of the deal.
Great job by our cameraman Colby Gouda down there as we're about to take the green coming off of turn number 4. Here it comes. Green flag, your points leader is in 4th. Keep an eye on that battle right there. Coming out of turn number 2, we almost had a spinner. Nate Gregg almost went around. Lots of contact around here, and Nate Gregg does go around. Nate Gregg, the bad day for the Gregg family continues. They actually weren't planning on racing here tonight. He and his father, Billy Gregg, had their crate modified at Caraway Speedway, and they were going to take the night off from the Madhouse, but it sucked them back in, baby. Well, actually, what sucked them back in was a little turn of misfortune, a blown motor on the modified, and they decided, well, let's hustle back home to the shop and get out the sportsman car, and young Nate Gregg is back here. All right, here's the replay right here. You see just a bunch of bumper tag, and Riley Neal looked like kind of inadvertently got in the back of the 28 car of Gregg. Didn't look like it was really intentional. So you see some smoke coming from the 03 of Sterling Plemons there. But Nate Gregg, unfortunate victim there of the accordion effect. Do you like accordion?
I love accordion.
Great instrument. It's one of the featured instruments of polka, one of my favorite musical genres. Believe it or not.
I don't have a follow-up question
No.
for that one.
You don't know like Jimmy Stern and his orchestra or anything? No.
I grew up in East Tennessee.
27-time
I don't
Grammy
think
Award
there's
winner.
a lot of a polka
No.
community there.
Well, who's tiptoeing in the front and playing one heck of an instrument? And that is the two drivers right there on your screen. It's Tiger Tommy Neal, but he's going to have a mirror full of the super aggressive driver of the Jerry Johnson Motors, number 55, Zach Orr. Orr is not afraid to use his bumper to get around people, and he is a guy that wants to get victories. Oh! Caution is out. The 37 is spun and almost gets drilled by your leaders. Massey around again. Trouble for Amber Lynn coming out of turn number 4. Amber Lynn is around. Parts are everywhere. Crowd is on their feet right now as Amber Lynn's car sits in a heap. Everybody's leaning over the beer garden. Don't know what happened there.
I do. That was merely bad luck for Amber Lynn. The 03 was already having some issue. There was some smoke coming off the back of it before the caution even came out. And then, unfortunately, after the caution came out, it looked like there was an issue with that car, and he made contact with the 2. We'll have to see if we can get a visual of it, but hopefully my poor recap does the job. Tough night for Amber Lynn.
I don't know what the heck happened there because the caution was out. Everybody got around it there, and it was just like 15 seconds after it happened, all of a sudden the number 2, just is wrecked, laying there in a heap, parts strewn across the racetrack. And I heard the crowd from up here because remember, this is a very polarizing race car driver here. Let's see what happened on the Flow Racing replay, see if we can see it here. The wreck is over. There is Amber Lynn on the left side of your screen. The Duggins Well 03 comes down, but Amber Lynn, almost like she didn't know there was a yellow or something. I mean, she just monster trucked them there. Got into the back of the 03. Yellow was out.
Wow.
Oh, this crowd around here is cheering and jeering Amber Lynn as she takes her vehicle around the track, and she will take it to the pit area. This crowd loves to love her and loves to hate her. Tell you what, if there was anybody selling T-shirts here, she would be towards the top, and she's one of the most popular drivers here in this division as well.
Tough night for her tonight, though, unfortunately. Had
Very
that
tough
issue
night.
in the first race. Now, whatever that issue was here under caution in the second of these twin 50-lap races tonight.
Yeah, that was an interesting
20-lap races, excuse me.
Yeah, that was an interesting one right there. I don't know if she didn't know that. It's hard for us to tell up in a booth here. The only person that really knows there is Amber Lynn, the driver of that race car. So it's really unfair to assess. We can only kind of guess what happened there. And my guesstimate was maybe, she didn't know that the yellow flag was out because she got back in the throttle right there as the 03 was coming down.
Well, and it's something that you had mentioned earlier, Dilner, is how quickly things are happening down there.
Yes.
It's hard to really get an idea of how fast these cars are going when you're watching it on Flow Racing or even from here in the stands. And whether it's a modified or it's, this sportsman division,
Yep.
it's there's a lot going on down there. So
Look at this shot here. We'll see when Amber Lynn comes by if we get any cheers or boos right here. Colby Gouda, our star cameraman there in turn number 1, getting a great shot. Look at it. Yeah, we got some boos up. I don't know what that signal was. That was an interesting one.
it's a new one.
That's a new one. You always got the tap, or the go get 'em.
Oh, yeah.
Type like if you could hear that on the camera. But
I
there's
like
all
the
sorts
one
of
finger
ones.
salute.
Which one finger do you like?
I'll let you guess.
The bird season.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. It's bird season here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The birds are out tonight.
The birds seem to be out many Saturday nights here
Hey.
at Bowman Gray
Yeah,
Stadium.
you'll never have more fun than sitting on the bottom row, leaning over the concrete facade, and cheering or jeering. Have you ever done it? Have you ever sat in the front row here?
I've never sat in the grandstands
Okay,
for
you
a
need to
race
come
here.
do that.
I've always been in the booth.
No, you got to experience it you got to take one night, you and your husband come here, and do it. It is unlike anything you'll ever experience. And fans, we invite you to every Saturday night. Green flag is out, lap 9 of this 20-lap affair. Tiger Tommy Neal looking for win number 56, but it's going to be a hard one because he has a fierce competitor behind him. Now the battle is on for second position. Battles everywhere because the lead's a battle. Second place is a battle. Chase Robertson moves into that spot. We have trouble on the back straightaway. Trouble. Amber Lynn again. Nate Gregg again. And the 38 of Thomas. Mitch Gales again. He's from Thomasville. It's repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat.
Deja vu.
All over again. That's a Yogiism.
Okay.
Have you ever heard that one?
No.
No, Yogi Berra. the great New York Yankees catcher.
Sure.
And subsequent manager of them and the New York Mets, I believe, as well, too. But yogi-isms are famous. I actually have a book of yogi-isms, and that is one of my favorite ones. My other one is when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's great. Oh, look
That
at the
one's
little
good.
guys cheering.
Come to a fork in the road.
If you come to a fork in the road, take it. That's great advice by Yogi.
That is good advice.
I bet you Yogi right now is saying to the 55, you gotta take this. You gotta take this checkered flag, and Tommy Neal's not going to give it to him easy.
And
Green
Zach
flag
Orr
is back out.
was getting very aggressive on the bumper of that 21 before that last caution came out.
Tommy Neal exposed his entry there. Zach Orr gets into him. Orr goes around. Trouble. Your points leader is involved. He's got trouble. Big wreck coming out of the north turn. Taylor is involved, Justin Taylor, but the big question on the backstretch right now, the 31 of Chase Robertson, your points leader in a shower of sparks.
There he goes.
He's off on pit road. The number 31 and Zach Orr, your second and third place competitor, your points leader, just got wiped out. Big swings tonight. This is not double points night, but I think the theme of the night could be big swings, because we saw Burt Myers with his first finish out of the top 10 since 2022, June, so about a year. And then we just saw Chase Robertson, our point leader, get damage from that incident, and now he is in the pit area. Let's look at the Flow Racing replay as they stack up here in the north turn. He left his entry exposed, but, man, he just got run over there. Zach Orr ran him over. Chase Robertson there. Oh, yeah. That looks like hopefully it's just a flat right front, but I think it might be some form of suspension damage. We'll see if he comes back out. Unfortunate for Chase Robertson. Chase Robertson, earlier this year, won a race, did victory lane, and then left to go to prom.
That's awesome.
The last time we were here, Chase Robertson, or 2 times ago, Chase Robertson wins the race that the same day he graduated high school.
No way.
From Oak Grove High School. He's a starting,
Wow.
A relief pitcher for that team.
He's a talented kid.
And they went to tournaments at the end of the year. A very, very successful baseball team. But, yeah, comes from a racing lineage. But prom, graduation, winning races, points leader. It's been quite the season for the young man. And tonight, not going too well. We'll see if that 31 makes it back out. And he does. He enters the arena right now. You see him on your screen coming towards the fans who are booing him. Chase Robertson, a smooth race car driver and one of the, I think, one of the brightest young talents that Bowman Gray. I'm just going to say this, and this is, going to be a little out there. I know it's only his second season in the sportsman car, but just the way this kid drives, in my personal opinion, I think he's one of the top superstars that we've seen at this age in any division in Bowman Gray in quite some time. He is a winner. He is a very well-mannered young man who comes from a great racing family. He doesn't get involved in any of the craziness here so far, and he holds himself very well for a high school student. He is side by side with Zach Orr right now, seeing who gets the spot towards the back of the field. Every spot matters as they start to line up this field. What a big swing. Whew. But thankfully, he gets to rejoin the field. But we are over halfway, 11 laps into this 20-lap affair. Just behind that 12 car, you see sparks coming from that 12. I think he's dragging a little bit of like a body brace, but 2 cars behind him, or a car behind him right now. There's Zach Orr behind him. and the 31 of Chase Robertson. Those are the two cars that really were involved in triggering this incident, and the 12 was involved as well. Lights are out on the pace car. They're side-by-side kind of contesting that spot back there. I wonder who's going to get it. All right, coming to the green flag, Pawpaw and the number 21, and behind him, young Riley Neal. So we've got generations right there battling up at the front. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Riley or is Pawpaw? Right now, Pawpaw is in front. Riley Neal gets a little upset, gets a little wiggly in turn number 1 and 2. The smoking number 03 of Sterling Plemons right behind him. Great run for Connor. Connor Branch there in the number 7 in 4th position. Somehow, Amber Lynn now in 5th position, going for 4th on the inside. Here comes Amber Lynn. Lynn to the bottom. From 0 to hero. Look at this. Here comes Amber Lynn marching her way to the front of the field. Half the body's gone on that car, but who cares? She's coming. Little bumper tag up front between relatives. Oh, boy. Riley Neal giving Pawpaw the business. Coming to 5 laps to go. Riley Neal to the back bumper of Tiger Tommy Neal once again. Here comes the 03 Smoke Show on the bottom. 3 cars going for it at Bowman Gray. The 03 might have a shot here, but no. Clean throughout the north turn. Riley Neal trying to get that car gathered back up and have another shot. 4 laps to go. We will have a yellow flag right here. T. Dawson has spun his 15 car coming out of turn number 4, throwing some green grass on the football field. And that will be a perfect time right now because they're going to get the blowers out there. Let's take a quick break on Flow Racing. We'll come back with the remaining 3 laps of the second Twin 20.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time. Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
All right, back here in perfect time. Great job by our crew. Look at that. To get back just in time because the lights are out on the modern Chevrolet Blazer Pace vehicle. And we expect it to pull into the grass here. The infield football field, home of Winston-Salem and State University. I think I got that right. Yeah.
Don right to me.
Yeah.
Winston-Salem State?
Yeah, I got it right. We're going to have 3 laps to go here, Jesse Punch, and a family affair at the front. Green flag is back out, but a hungry bunch of Lions behind it. Sterling Plemons and Amber Lynn marching. Oh! Trouble! Contact! Around goes Riley Neal. Somehow Amber Lynn gets into the lead from 4th position.
Wow.
We'll see how they score it. Contact in turn number 1. Tommy Neal. Riley Neal goes around. Somehow Amber Lynn goes from 4th to 1st. Drama ensuing at Bowman Gray Stadium in the Sportsman Division.
Amber Lynn barely has the front of her race car, and she's in contention for the win.
Let's check out the replay here. Riley Neal on the brakes hard, gets into him, brings the rear end of that car around a little bit, and oh boy, it's just bumper tag. You almost can't blame Plemons there because Plemons was getting pushed by Amber Lynn, who was getting pushed by Nate Gregg, who was getting pushed by 20,000 other people. The crowd is going nuts here at Bowman Gray because I think Amber Lynn's in the lead. Look at the crowd is going crazy here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Everybody's on their feet on the front stretch right now. Crowd is going ape. They're going bananas. Somehow, Amber Lynn has made it to the front. Everybody is leaning over.
Wow. I will say I did see a few one-finger salutes to the old two as it came by.
This is unbelievable. I mean, we're standing up here watching this, Jesse, and I can't believe it. Like, you usually see that if there's a dramatic thing in a last lap. But there wasn't a single person on the front stretch here that was sitting down, and everybody, whether they loved it or hated it, had a verbal and very physical opinion of what just happened there. Oh, man. This is special. 2 laps to go when we take the green. The lights are out on the pace car, and we've already had a doozy here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and we're about to see, well, something special possibly here. Amber Lynn somehow miraculously made it through that wreck, and she's in the lead. The great veteran to her back bumper coming to green. 2 more laps to go at Bowman Gray. All over the back bumper. Tommy Neal hits her into turn number 1. Around in a plume of smoke goes Amber Lynn. The crowd is going bananas at the stadium. People are out of their seat, jumping up and down. Amber Lynn is not happy.
Wow. She is not happy, charging up through the field.
Wow. What a moment here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Amber Lynn, now she is not happy. She is on the outside. It looks like she's going to regain her spot at the back of the field. Or is she trying to snake her way up to show her displeasure to the great veteran, Tiger Tommy Neal?
She kind of looks like she's on the hunt here.
Here's the replay right here real quick. You see Tiger Tommy Neal gets into the backside of that car, spins her around in a plume of smoke.
Now she is moving cars here, trying to make her way up through the field. No, looks like she's going to maybe hang back.
Very cool head there, because Amber Lynn is a young lady who shows a lot of emotion. She wears it on her sleeve. She cares deeply about how she performs in that race car. And there's been times where the emotion is overflowed in good ways and in bad ways. Tonight, on her radio, imploring some patience. But that race car doesn't have any sheet metal left on it except for the tail of it and the roof. The fans here are getting a show at the Madhouse.
Well, you talk about patience. This is a driver that had an issue in the first race tonight, too.
Yep.
So not only her ability to bounce back from that earlier issue this evening, and then here to be in contention and to keep a level head, even though she quite literally just got spun from the lead. It's admirable, to say the least.
This is definitely some Bowman Gray right here, folks. Zach Orr stopping on the front stretch to talk with the officials. Amber Lynn. What a moment here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Tiger Tommy Neal, despite it all, remains your leader. The crowd is going insane here. I don't know if you can hear it on Flow Racing, but we're up here in the booth in a glass enclosure, and you could hear the crowd at Bowman Gray Stadium, and boy, is it fun to watch outside of the glass here. This is a perfect reason, like, hey, we love bringing this to you on Bowman Gray, right, on Flow Racing, but there's just nothing like being here. The atmosphere is just unmistakable, and you have to experience it in person. Here we go. Look at this shot. This guy's got, he's like a, crowding the camera there, but hey, he's going to make his presence known.
That's one of the coolest places to sit, though, because you can literally make eye contact with the drivers as they're coming around turn one, especially in an instance like right now when they're under caution. You can send them a pretty clear message.
I'm just loving, like, right here by the flag stand and just past it on the front row. There's not a single front row person on the front stretch here, that, especially here by the flag man, that is not standing. And they are all pumping their fists wildly. It is unbelievable. There we go. There's a good camera shot. You can see it as it follows here. Makes a really tough swing. Look at all those fans at the bottom cheering. Look at this. This is what it's all about, a heavyweight title fight here for 20 laps with motorized mayhem at Bowman Gray Stadium in the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Division. And, folks, it's not over yet. 1 quarter-mile trip around this famed quarter mile to decide the winner. Pace car pulls in at about the 10-yard line. Green flag and white flag together for the veteran Tommy Neal. But here comes the youngster, Nate Gregg, in second place. Nate Gregg throws it super hard into turn number 1 and 2. Tommy Neal is sparking. Can he survive one last trip around the north turn? Nate Gregg gets into him. Sideways off the turn. The Tiger does it. Tommy Neal hangs on in a fury of spark and sheet metal to be the winner. Career win number 56. Look at the screen right there. Chase Robertson spun around on the last lap to close out his subpar second twin 50 lap race. And look at this. Sheet metal hanging off the side of the 21. The crowd is going crazy because the Tiger has done it. Tommy Neal, win number 56 at the Madhouse.
Held off his grandson, held off Amber Lynn, dragged that sheet metal through those final laps there after that restart. He earned this one tonight.
Without a doubt, the modifieds are the premier division here. But sometimes this is the division that provides the most fireworks for the 13,000 strong race fans that are in attendance tonight. Here comes the car, losing half of its front end, coming to victory lane. That is absolutely iconic. His 56th career win, 2 behind Ronnie Clifton. He is in third position of all time in the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Division. Look at this raucous crowd. Let's go down to Randy Pulliam for a very popular victory lane.
The Tiger leaning back in the seat of his car number 21, taking a deep breath, getting a drink of water, and here he climbs out of the cockpit for the second time this season. The Tiger, Tommy Neal. Tommy got his little baby in his hands. Tommy, your second win of the season, win number 56 of your career. I'll tell you what, this car looks nothing like the car that started.
No, we had a pretty rough race the first race and had to hold in the radiator, and front end got banged up pretty good. When you start 17th in the back, and it's hard to come out of here unscathed when you get in the back. Had a pretty good position. Thanking Mac Little and all them guys working their butts off getting the car back together. I'd like to thank Billy Gregg for letting me borrow a radiator and Nate for running me clean. I just I thank all my sponsors, everybody that helps me, everybody that contributes to this car. And I'm getting tired. Every time I get up under somebody, they always chopping me off. So that time I decide I'm I'm going to stay in there. I ain't backing off no more. But a lot of great sponsors. Jerry Hunt Super Center, Brad's Golf Carts, Prince Realty, Big Daddy's Trailer Sales, Corette County, CNC Lock and Key, Affordable Septic, and my beautiful woman right here. She sticks with me through thick and thin and everything is. My family, everybody, the whole crew, and I almost all like to thank Jesus Christ and wish my Father in heaven happy Father's Day.
Congratulations once again to the Tiger, Tommy Neal, the winner for a second time this season.
I don't know if I could have said it any better there than Tiger Tommy Neal, Emotional Victory Lane. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We'll come back on Flow Racing. Let's get excited because the modified second twin, number 50, second 50-lap twin race coming up next on Flow Racing.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
Welcome back to NASCAR Roots Excitement, and oh boy, we could say excitement because we saw a fenderless car just win the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Division. Tommy Neal, his 56th career stadium win. The Madhouse, boy, we have seen it tonight. But folks, we are now ready for the second of the Thunder Road Grill 50s for the Brad's Golf Cars NASCAR Modified Division. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Ground Pounders. Starting on the pole, the great veteran 20-time winner from Pufftown, North Carolina, and the Greg Butcher Trucking. Number 5, it's Randy Butner. To his outside from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, the QRC HVAC Carolina Drilling. Number 4, it's Jason Myers.
Starting in the third position, driving the number 21, that's Jonathan Brown. And beside him in that number 75, that's Lee Jeffries.
The Units DL Outfitters, number 51, starts in the 5th position from King, North Carolina. It's Junior Snow. To the outside from Mount Airy, North Carolina. In the Surrey Chemicals, number 16, it's the showstopper, Chris Fleming.
Driving that number 04, he was the runner-up in our first modified race here this evening from here in Winston-Salem, Brandon Ward. And just beside him in that neon number 83, already visited Victory Lane once tonight, that's Tim Brown.
Starting 9th tonight from King, North Carolina. Driver of the Carolina Waterjet, number 10, it's Dan Speeney. And to the outside from Monroe, North Carolina, the number 3, it's the Flying Taco, Danny Probst.
Winston-Salem native Gerald Robinson Jr., driving that number 39, is starting in the 11th position. with William Smith in the 99, starting just beside him in 12th.
One of my favorites. Crab Smith is the man there in the number 99. He's awesome. Starting 13th tonight, trying to get a better finish than the first one, that is. Slated to start 13th from Walnut Cove. It's the number 9 of Kyle Southern to the outside. The shooting targets number 37 from Tobaccoville, North Carolina. It's Mike Speeney.
Starting in the 15th position, happy to be out there. That's the one of Burt Myers. Had an issue in the first race, and Donor, like you said, finished outside of the top 10 for the first time in almost a year. He's starting 15th with the 44 of Daniel Beeson next to him in the 16th.
Good to see Beeson back out here with repairs on his New Day Motorsports machine. Starting 17th in the Black Sand Company, number 69. The young racer from just down the road in Winston-Salem, John Holloman IV. And to the outside, the driver of the number 77 Phoenix Packaging Machine, it's Susan Harwell.
Driving that number 35, starting in the 19th position, that's Brandon Butler. And next to him in that number 88, that's Ethan Stoltz.
And the last row for our starting positions, 21 and 22. We have both Myers Brothers machines, the 14 of Corey Levitt, and the number 6, fourth generation driver, Slate Myers from Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Oh, here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup, as I like to say, as the modifieds are on the track, getting some heat in their machines, getting some heat on those tires, cleaning them off. We're going to dust off the chassis and get ready here after a wild and woolly Sportsman Division race. Well, I don't know what can top that.
I guess we'll find out. Hey, you mentioned those tires. These are the same tires that have already run 50 laps tonight.
Yep.
Worth noting.
Worth noting. Definitely worth noting that the tire fall off isn't that much, but if you really abused your car, maybe it does. The great veteran, Randy Butner, leads the field to green as the cars test their brakes and get a little gas on the right foot and get ready for the second Thunder Road Grill 50. John Boy making his return in third position. Last week's winner, Lee Jeffries, on the outside of the second row. These are the drivers that live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. 50 laps times 2. Thunder Grill Street Stock. Oh, modified race number 2 is underway. They sponsored the Street Stock race last week, so hey, what the heck. Buntner powers out to the lead. Jason Myers files inside into the second position. John Boy up to third. Junior Snow in fourth. Settling in the fifth spot is Lee Jeffries in the number 75. Randy Butner, the Pufftown Mafia leader, leads the modifieds around turn number 4 on lap number 2. Has a mirror full, though, of the 38-time winner at Bowman Gray Stadium, the number 4, the Carolina Drilling QRC HVAC machine. That is younger brother to Burt, Jason Myers.
Speaking of Burt, he's still running back there towards the latter half of the field. Hasn't really been able to gain too many positions here, but again, we're only 4 laps into a 50-lapper. Oh, and the caution's out, so we'll have to see if maybe he uses this as an opportunity to put himself in a better spot on this restart. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it looks like the yellow came out for Dan Speeney in the number 10 car, the Carolina Waterjet machine, getting pushed back into the pit area. And I'm trying to figure out, because both cars are identical, I think that is the backup car for Burt Myers. I do believe it is, because I don't think I saw Corey Levitt take the green for the race, who was slated to start 21st. So I believe that looks like the backup car for Burt Myers towards the rear of the field. I'll try to get some confirmation on that, but it appears like that is that backup machine. Cone is out. Randy Butner chooses the inside. To the outside goes Jason Myers. The next one to the outside, Lee Jeffries files into the 4th starting spot. 6 laps on the board for the second Thunder Road Grill 50 for the NASCAR Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. Modern Chevrolet Blazer Pace vehicle pulls in around the 15-yard line. And now the 600 horsepower ground pounders get ready to take the green again. 5 laps down, 45 laps to go. Green flag is back out. The drag race to the south turn. Myers holding on strong on the outside, but give the lead spot again to Randy Butner. Now Lee Jeffries tries to fill the hole on the bottom. Battle is on for the top 3. Jeffries over the little turtles on the bottom, upsets his car, tries to get that second spot. Now Myers clears him into the turn 3. Top 4 cars, single file. Right behind that, Junior Snow and Brandon Ward side by side. Ward doing it the hard way around the outside of the Snowman. Sideways off of turn number 4 comes those 2 drivers. Neck and neck into turn number 1 and turn number 2. Great battle is on for the 5th position here at Bowman Gray. Brandon Ward, power move on the outside. Try to get it done. Junior Snow fighting. He has the spot. Yellow flag is out. Looks like there might have been some grass put on the infield of turn number 3. So we'll throw that as a debris caution here. 9 laps into this affair. The caution 811. Call before you dig. Yellow flag. I'll get those numbers right someday, Jesse Punch.
There's not a 1 at the front. There's
No.
Just an 8.
Yeah, you know, dyslexic?
Or maybe there is.
Maybe I'm dyslexic and I don't know it.
Well, this is a good time to find out.
Look at the track crew, hard at work. There's the backpack blower. That's a jet dryer if I've ever seen it. Look at that thing getting it done. This is the hardest working track crew in America. Cone goes out right away. Look at that perfect placement. Yes.
I mean, every time, just flawless.
Consistency.
And you know what? That is really where you succeed.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah. You can't be inconsistent if you want to be consistent. Consistently taking the top spot so far in this race, in the 2 restarts we've had, is Jason Myers. He goes to the top. John Boy, Jonathan Brown, and his return to the modifieds goes to the outside as well. And deja vu all over again. That 3rd row is going to have Snowman, Junior Snow, with Brandon Ward to his outside.
Still 40 laps to go in this race, so plenty of time for these guys to gain some position, but we'll see if things get aggressive here on the restart.
Butner, he's got the preferred groove on the bottom. Jason Myers trying to hang on the outside. Lee Jeffries, once again, trying to fill the hole and close up to the back bumper of your leader, trying not to let the number 4 get the spot, but here comes Jason Myers to the bottom. Now John Boy trying to make it around the outside. Can he get to the bottom, or is he going to challenge on the outside of Lee Jeffries? Side by side for your 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th position. Burt Myers also joins the fray on the outside. He's putting the power down. Give Junior Snow that spot, but here comes Burt Myers with the charge on the outside. Side by side with Jonathan Brown. This is what we've missed with Jonathan Brown not being at the stadium all year, as these 2 Titans side by side around the famed quarter mile. Myers hanging tough on the outside. That is hard to do. Got to give credit for the Walnut Cove, North Carolina driver. 89 times the victor, and there's been several times he's done it the hard way around the top, but he is showing some gusto right now on the outside of the number 21. There he goes, files in behind Jonathan Brown. That's the way to do it. You don't want to spend too much time on that outside.
It goes back to what we talked about with those tires as well.
Well, the battle is back out at the front, because it's not going to be easy for the great veteran Randy Butner, a 20-time winner here in the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Wars. Just when you think Randy Butner is maybe seeing the twilight of his career, right? You know, very popular driver here at Bowman Gray, a very quiet personality, but the Pofftown Mafia leader, once again, at the front of the field. We see it every year where Brandy Butner rattles off a win or two. And tonight, he's in prime position to do so with 19 laps on the board.
But Jason Myers just has held on to that second place position. As fast as Butner has been all night, that 4 is waiting to make a move.
Looking on the screen right now, Burt Myers applying pressure to the backside of Jonathan Brown's number 21. That is the Tiger Tommy Neal machine. Tiger Tommy Neal, the car owner of that number 21. You just saw him take the checkered flag in the sportsman division. And right now, the car that he owns with John Boy at the wheel is trying to hold off Burt Myers right there in the 5th position on the racetrack. 21 laps, 22 laps now on the books.
There's the top 3. They've kind of pulled away with it here from the rest of the field.
Three-car breakaway right now at the front. We're also keeping our eyes on the number 21, holding up Burt Myers, and things are getting a little nasty back there. Little bit of bumper tag. The backside of that number 21 is getting a workout from that famed orange bumper here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Burt Myers to the backside of John Boy. The crowd's on their feet right now. They sense it. They sense it. Burt Myers is not going to wait too long. We saw last week what happened is if you implore too much patience around here. Everybody getting stacked up behind those race cars too.
There you see our leaders dealing with a little bit of lap traffic, giving Butner the opportunity to pull away with it a tad.
That is the guy that came in the point leader, and I believe still has the points lead. I'm not good at math, but finishing outside the top 10 for the first time in a year. And there goes the big shot to John Boy to try to get underneath him. John Boy pinches him down just a tad in turn number 1. Give the spot to Burt Myers. Brandon Ward tries to follow suit. We knew it was going to happen. Burt Myers sideways off of turn number 4 there. That was unbelievable. Yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out at Bowman Gray. The call, 811 before you dig. Caution flag is out.
Beautiful.
NC811.org, baby.
Wow.
Hey, there you go. See, I made it up to them since I got their name wrong, the numbers wrong. I even tossed out their website for them.
That's just fabulous.
Poof.
They're going to have to start paying you soon.
Or they could just come if I have to dig. That's all I need them for. They don't need to do anything special.
You just got to know who to call.
Yeah. Can you dig it? You don't have to laugh at my jokes.
I know.
It's not a requirement of being in the booth. You know that,
it's
right?
not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, good to know.
I mean, I've been married for over 11 years, and it's just hit the teetering point where Erica doesn't laugh at my jokes. So it's okay. I'm comfortable with it.
She's honest with you.
Yes, I'm comfortable with honesty, and I'm good with it. Let's give you your 30 laps into this 50-lapper. Randy Butner is your leader. Second place, Jason Myers. Third place, Lee Jeffries. Junior Snow with an impressive fourth-place run. Again, a good run for the Snowman. Burt Myers now in the 5th position. John Boyd, Jonathan Brown in 6th. Brandon Ward, Chris Fleming, Tim Brown, John Holloman, Danny Probst. I think that's your top 10, or 11 or 12. Cone is out. Jason Myers once again goes to the top. Lee Jeffries on the bottom. Junior Snow puts it to the top. A bold move by the young driver from King, North Carolina. I love seeing that right there. A little risk out of the units moving in storage. Number 51 driver, the Snowman, putting it to the top. Double file restarts here for the Twin 50s. That's what I love about it. Puts on a show for all these fans here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Green flag is out, and a pretty fair start there. Drag racing down to the south turn. Side by side through turn 1 and turn number 2 comes two great veterans of Bowman Gray Stadium. Jason Myers on the outside trying desperately to get around. Little bit of looseness out of the number 5 car right there. Butner trying to hang on to this lead.
Oh, the 4 is going to make a move around him on the outside. A bold one to make a move on the
outside. Oh, contact between the leaders. Over the top of the tires, open wheel drama. Randy Butner goes over the top of Jason Myers as they battle side by side for the lead in the north turn. And the night is over. It looks like possibly for both drivers. The 5 pulls away. So does the number 4. Jason Myers sparks underneath his machine. But no for the win for both of those drivers. Wow. Big swings.
Seems to be what you said the theme of the night. Big swings.
What you think?
I don't know what to think right now.
All right, let's look at the Flow Racing replay and check it out here. Both drivers contesting for that spot. The 5 went in there a little deep, got a little loose on entry, and the 4 was sideways. They both were sideways, and the tires, once those tires touched, there's nothing you could do in a modified when the tires touch. And it just kind of launched them over there. Wow. That was spectacular. We've had a lot of intense battles for the lead tonight, especially that last race, and this second Twin 50 has not disappointed. Jason Myers and Randy Butner going for the lead. Let's take another look here at that as they enter turn number, and you see just there hitting the rubble strips, the turtles on the bottom upsets the number 5. He's sideways, the 4 is sideways. They're both on the ragged edge.
So takes out 2 big contenders for the lead, but what it does is it sets up that 75 of Lee Jeffries, who's been in contention all night long, to now be your leader. But just behind him in the 1, he's back in it, Burt Myers.
And don't forget, on the outside, I believe he finished 4th, I think, in the first feature event. Somewhere around there is the Snowman, Junior Snow. He had a really good run in that first race. The driver of that number 51, units moving and storage machine, the pink bumper, the former baseball player, taking a risk on the outside. Green flag is out. He tries to fight to the bottom. Burt Myers fills the hole, and he gets second position. Snow battles back into 3rd. Side by side behind them is John Boy, Jonathan Brown to the inside. Brandon Ward, the battle for 4th is on. Lee Jeffries, your leader on that restart, but there is the battle on the track, side by side. Brandon Ward trying to hang on the outside. Give the spot, it looks like, to John Boy. Little bit of contact there. That opens the door for Tim Brown. Tim Brown now moves into a top 5 position. A great night for him. But back up front it goes. The lead battle is on. It's a repeat of last week. Lee Jeffries is your leader. This time, Burt Myers on the backside. Last week, Burt Myers lost the restart with a missed shift, and then he tried to pound the back bumper of the number 75 to get around him, to no avail, as Lee Jeffries took his 2nd win of the year. Repeat, as we said, deja vu all over again. Here's the battle for the lead, and it's the 75 and the 1. Big shot to the back bumper of Lee Jeffries. Jeffries saves it sideways out of the north turn. Great racing action here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Junior Snow has the best seat in the house, though, Jesse.
I was just about to say that. Waiting patiently in the catbird seat. He knows Burt Myers. He knows how he's gonna fend for his way these last couple laps. Just like that with that bumper.
39 laps ticks on the scoreboard on the another big bump. Another big save from Lee Jeffries. This, folks, is getting interesting. 1, 2, 3 strikes. Oh, to the back bumper of the 75. Now Jeffries blocks down low, trying to protect the bottom. Burt Myers is desperate. He's desperate after that tough first race to get the lead. Bumper tag all the way around the tight quarter mile. What a great job of defense right now. Oh, you can't defend that. Big bump from Burt Myers. Around goes the 75 of Lee Jeffries. Burt Myers is now your leader. Lee Jeffries is spun on the infield grass.
Burt gave him a warning. He gave him a few, actually.
Well, once again, we've seen drama here at the Madhouse. And the fans, they know it. They saw it. They sensed it. They felt it. They anticipated it. And it happened. Let's show you what happened. There's the replay right there. One big bump in the center of the corner just as Jeffries was about to apply the throttle gently off the turn. He played defense for a long time last week, and he played defense really good tonight, but there was no defending that. You know, I just was hanging out with Jack Hewitt. And, you know, they have something in society called the law.
Do they?
Yes. But Jack Hewitt always spoke, well, they kind of spoke of Hewitt's Law, the title of his book. Well, at Bowman Gray Stadium, there's the law of the front bumper. And you see that crushed orange bumper. That's the evidence of what the law is here at Bowman Gray Stadium at times. Sometimes you're the plaintiff. Sometimes you're the defendant. Sometimes you're the winner. Sometimes you're the loser. But there's a law here at Bowman Gray Stadium that all these fans know. From the front bumper to the rear bumper, orange paint, as you see there on the 75. Hey, that's just Bowman Gray Stadium. I think the gravity of the moment sinks in for the Lee Jeffries faithful around here. But the Burt Myers fans, you saw them all standing on their feet. Some of them, though, we're booing. It'll be an interesting serenade here at Victory Lane, too, if he wins.
And you point out the bend in that front Nerf bar there. It really puts into perspective just how hard he is getting into the back of that bumper. And I know, like you said, that last hit there was that last push, I should say, was a not easy. You really couldn't do anything about that. But impressive saves by Jeffries earlier in this run. Evidenced by that right there.
Well, lights are out on the pace card. Folks, she ain't over yet. 8 more circuits around the famed quarter mile, and throwing it to the outside in a very bold move is the young sophomore sensation. Green flag is out. Burt Myers fired first. I don't know if they're going to call this one back. Oh, contact there. Great saves by John Boy and Tim Brown. Unbelievable piece of driving by those two drivers. We stay green. Burt Myers is your leader. Junior Snow in second. Third place, Jonathan John Boy Brown. Tim Brown in fourth. And the showstopper, Chris Fleming, round out the top 5.
That 21 had a rough go from the start. It's impressive that he was managed to not only save it, but continue to hold on to a third place position right now.
Tim Brown and the 21 of John Boy with quite possibly the saves of the night right there. That was unbelievable driving by both of them. Dirt tracking it through the south turn. Now Tim Brown applying the pressure. He wants to get up one more spot. This is a tight points battle by way of Burt Myers, who's your leader, having a tough go, finishing way outside the top 10 in the first race. Tim Brown right now wants to get as many spots ahead and close to Burt Myers as he can to try to make the most impact in the night.
He's only got 3 laps to do it.
Get an average finish between these two races. Burt Myers is upping his average, being in the lead. Tim Brown, quite a darn good average for him. Even if he finishes 4th right now, 1st and 4th, that's pretty good. The number 51 in second, we haven't talked that much about him. He's running a good race too. Yellow flag is out. Gerald Robinson Jr. stopped on the backstretch.
So that's going to set this thing up for another restart with just 2 laps to go.
There is the number 51 car of Junior Snow. We talked about that car before, Units Mobile Storage and DL Outfitters on board. But this guy right here, that's a beautiful PSR chassis race car. He works at PSR Chassis, so he knows these cars inside and out. He and his father work on this car week in and week out here at Bowman Gray. Their mom makes always comes here with some of the best banana pudding. I'm just going to tell you that right now. They always got the cheer wine cold on ice for you in the pit area, but really good young man right there. A former baseball player, college baseball player, raced here in the stadium stocks at Bowman Gray Stadium, did some 602 modifieds, and graduating last year, of course, as a rookie, and winning a race last year, and he's looking to get his first win of 2023 in his sophomore season. Lights are out on the pace car. We're about to go green flag racing. Lap 49. It's going to be a green, white, together. So happy together. We'll see who's happy after 1/4 mile. Fans are on their feet, and the green and white wave. Only an 1/8 of a mile to go for Burt Myers as he rounds the bend. Coming to the checkered flag in the second twin 50. Burt Myers win 90 at the Madhouse. Junior Snow gives him a big congratulations. A strong second place finish for that young man. But the victor tonight. And to the victor goes the spoils. And the spoils are evident with that front bumper. That thing is crunched in right there. That is vintage Burt Myers at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Second time this season and the 90th time in his Bowman Gray Stadium career. Let him hear it if you like him, or if you don't, Burt Myers. Race fans, coming up next is the Thunder Road Grill Street Stock 50 for the law offices of John Barrow Street Stock Series. A tale of 2 races this evening for Burt Myers. A 15th place finish in the first event. But he made his way up to the front, taking his second win of the season and the 90th of his Bowman Gray Stadium career. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Burt, it was a tale of 2 races. 2 races. But you came back with a vengeance in that second event. We need to look no further than that orange bumper right there. But congratulations, second win of the season, 90th of your career.
That's cool, wasn't it? You know, last week I gave one away. I felt better tonight because the transmission was actually messed up and we didn't know it. I went to high gear and there's nothing there. I didn't want to spin Lee. I was just putting enough pressure on him. Knocked him out wide, and it happened. But after what we've been through last week, busting the transmission, fixing it, starting shotgun on the field, it's going to be hard to deny us this one.
I know you want to thank your sponsors. You could not do it without them, Burt.
Yeah. Greg Butcher, CitraSafe, Haviland, MJ, PSR, and NASCAR Institute, Riddle Tractor, Auto Store. These guys, let me tell you something. That transmission's hotter than an order of Dario fries when you're trying to get it out after the race. But we did it, and we got it fixed, and man alive, here we stand.
Congratulations once again to Burt Myers. For the second time this season, he'll make his way over to the Carolina Wood Floors winner's circle.
Burt Myers does it again. 15th to first for career win number 90. That's the third lowest that he's started to come back from a win. An unbelievable feat, no matter what you think. Front bumper, he used it, but no matter what side you're on right there, to come from 15th to first is an incredible feat, and he did it for win number 90. Burt Myers, the winner. We still have one of the main cards of the night, the Thunder Road Grill Street Stock 50 for the law offices of John Barrow Street Stock Division, their most prestigious race, coming up next on Flow Racing.
Welcome back to Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse, the final race of the night, getting ready to get started here. But first, the number one of Burt Myers, his modified is being rolled off the racetrack as we speak, coming off of his win in the second of the twin 50-lap modified races tonight. But like I said, we have one final race for you this evening, and that is the Thunder Road Grill Street Stock 50-lapper.
Let's give you the starting lineup for this 50-lap affair, the most prestigious race of their season. Starting on the pole, the sophomore sensation in the Sykes Metal Roofing, number 99. It's Brian Sykes Jr. to the outside, winning his first ever career win in the Sportsman Street Stock Division last week. In the Salem Dumpster Services, number 70, it's Cale Martin.
And starting in the third position, he's got 2 wins already on the season. That's Brad Lewis driving that number 16. Just beside him, driving the number 13, Moxville native Kevin Gilbert.
Driving the number 1 machine after a tough go last week, he's clinging on to that points lead right now. From Trinity, North Carolina, the Hot Rod Bar number 1, it's Christian Joyce. To his outside, a generational talent here, the grandson of the great Pee Wee Jones. From Clemens, North Carolina, it's Austin Jones.
Winston-Salem native driving the number 06, Chase Lewis is starting in that 7th position. And in that number 00 from Wahlberg, North Carolina, that's Donnie Martin starting 8th.
Oh, Moose Martin. Starting 9th tonight in the number 10 machine, the Motorsports on Main car, it's Kendall Craig Hartless. Starting to the outside in the spot number 10 is the driver of number 25, the Olympic Restaurant Machine, it's Cooper Lowe.
Driving the number 23, starting in the 11th position from Kernersville, North Carolina, Jordan Atkins. And just beside Jordan in the 12th position, driving that number 21 from Louisville, North Carolina, that's Wes Glasgow.
Starting 13th tonight is the driver of the number 4, the Kokomo Fab Machine from Winston-Salem. One of 3 Lewises in the field. It's the female sensation, Emily Lewis. Starting to the outside from Clemens, North Carolina, the number 30 Kogar Plumbing Machine, it's Zachary Kogar.
Starting in the 15th position, he's got 3 podium finishes already on the season. Driving that number 03, that's Cody Gum. And in the number 9, starting 16th, Winston-Salem native Justin Cummings.
And the final row. Starting 17th in the High Rock Farms, number 19 from Kernersville, North Carolina, it's Robbie White. And starting scratch on the field tonight. Well, he re-entered the division last week. It was great to see him back, and they start scratch on the field tonight. The Mount Airy, North Carolina native in the Creed Transmissions 02, it's David Creed. Well, we said it before. This is the big one for the street stocks here at Bowman Gray. 50 laps presented by Thunder Road Grill. Zeno Marshall's Thunder Road Grill. Great place to get a burger, French fries, ice cream. Gotta love it.
So the theme of the night, what do we say? Big swings? Big swings. Heading into tonight's race here for the street stock division. As you said, this is the biggest race of the year for this series.
There's a tie.
And there's a tie at the top of the points. Christian Joyce and Cale Martin both are leading with 206 points, but Donnie Martin is in third, just 6 points behind them.
It's tight. It's real tight. And what's tighter is this field as they come to green. The Thunder Road Grill Street Stock 50 is green at Bowman Gray Stadium. A great launch on the outside by Cale Martin, but Sykes gets into him just enough to impede his process. Brian Sykes Jr. marches into the north turn, trying to maintain that lead, and he does so coming off of turn number 4. Brad Lewis now to the bottom in that beautiful number 16. He gets into the number 2 spot. Christian Joyce tries to follow suit. Last week's winner, the number 70, is trapped on the outside, Cale Martin.
Looks like the one of Christian Joyce is also going to maybe gain a position there on Cale, as that 70 is still stuck on the outside. Oh, and the 06 is going to make a move on the inside as well.
Oh, man, it just gets worse for Cale Martin right there. Chase Lewis passes by. Here comes the 24 now of Austin Jones, Pee-wee's grandson, to the bottom of the Farm Bureau Insurance, number 24. Now, finally, filing down into the 6th position is the number 70. Now back up front, Brian Sykes Jr. is your leader. Brad Lewis follows suit in that number 16 machine. 2 beautiful machines up there. Christian Joyce in this 50-lapper sits in third. He is trying desperately to avenge his horrific run last week. He had a comfy lead for a little while in the point standings, and things have just gone bad for Christian Joyce, the Trinity, North Carolina driver. Right now sitting comfy in P3. Sykes Jr., a winner here on the opening, one of the opening weeks of competition here at Bowman Gray Stadium in that Ford Mustang bodied number 99. His father, Brian Sykes, a veteran competitor for so many years here at Bowman Gray Stadium, saw him walking around the pit area today. Now just being a dad. Well, it is Father's Day weekend. Lap traffic right there. Robbie White in the number 19 getting out of the way of your leaders. Speaking of father, father is in 2nd place. Son is in 4th place. Okay, that's Brad Lewis is in the number 16, the black and orange machine on your screen. 2 cars behind, the white number 06. That's his son, Chase Lewis. Emily Lewis is slowing and bringing out the yellow in turn number 1. Sparks from underneath the number 4, the Sully machine, the Kokomo Fab number 4 on the back straightaway has sparks and a flat right front tire. That's not a good Father's Day present, Emily. Sully on the side of that car. You know, my kid loves the fact that Emily has Sully from Monsters, Inc. on the side of that race car.
I love that, too. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's the number 70. He started on the outside of the front row and all the way back now into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position is last week's winner, who had a great run, of course, winning last week, and the 112th driver to win a street stock race, joining his uncle, Donnie Moose Martin, who's also in the field, and cousin Spencer Martin, who moonlights here in this division as well, and his number 5 machine. Family affair. But that points lead that he's got, it's not very good dropping back like that.
Especially with, as we mentioned, double points. How many times can I say it?
Next week.
Next
double
week?
points.
Starts next week?
The big swing will be next week.
That's right.
You think it's a big swing tonight? Next week. Choose cone out. This is the only race that the street stocks get to do the double file choose cone restart. Usually they just file in 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever it is. Well, the big one, the Thunder Road Grill 50, they got to do it. There's Robbie White's car. He's bringing up the tail of the field. We're about to take the green here. 12 laps on the scoreboard in the north turn on the field house. Coming to green. A little bit of a jam up there. K-Train is in the grass, but now everybody is side by side down the backstretch. The battle for the lead is on. Christian Joyce on the outside, hanging on for dear life. He motors his way around. Chase Lewis spins in turn number 3 and 4, and the yellow flag is out.
Chase was aggressive there, trying to gain position on the inside. Didn't work in his favor, but man, he was a hard charger coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, well, I mentioned Father's Day, and I feel like I cursed the Lewises. David Creed is going into the infield. He has sparks from underneath his machine. K-Train, the number 13, had some issues as well. Kevin Gilbert, sounds like a law firm. That's why I like calling it K-Train. But trouble for a few big racers here. Let's look at the Flow Racing replay. Oh, yeah, it looks like Austin Jones came down. The 06 tried not to get into him. So he drove it to the grass, which is an admirable thing to do, really. Because it looked like I'd like to see that again, but it looked like he had the position on him. And there is Creed suffering a left front flat from that contact getting into Chase Lewis. There's Kevin Gilbert, K-Train, getting pushed behind the field house. Let's take a look again at the replay. And, yeah, he's got the spot. He's up to his door. Austin Jones kind of pinches him down there. Chase didn't have to drive it into the grass there. He might look at the replay and regret that a little. He drove it into the grass. That kind of unloaded the car, the rear end of the car. He's a clean racer. He tried hard to not booger the 24 car, but, hey, he became the victim.
That cone working hard.
There you go. That's awesome.
What a sight.
It's great to see the street stock guys get a chance at the cone. This is so cool. They got a chance to qualify. A few weeks ago, we had time trials for this, and Christian Joyce breaking the street stock track record, getting the pole, and by invert, he then started in the 5th position, and now he's worked his way all the way to the lead. That blue and silver and orange, number 1, is your race leader. The Hot Rod Bar, number 1, leads him to green. 16 laps on the board. Austin Jones closes the door and files into second place side by side for P3.
Kill Martin there getting shuffled to the outside. Oh, he's going to fall in line, though, so no loss of position.
Christian Joyce, your leader, but the battle is back in about 5th or 6th or 7th place. Chase Lewis has already worked his way up past a few race cars there on that restart, the 06 car. Look at that right there as he's trying so hard on the outside of Moose Martin in that 00 car, the uncle of Cale Martin, who we just mentioned before. And then back up front, your leader, Christian Joyce, leading the way. Austin Jones looking for his first ever street stock win, files into second. He's had a few good runs this year, but each time he does, something bad happens to him.
He was runner-up last race. So the potential's been there, to your point. all season long. It'd be interesting to see if he could finally get that monkey off his back. Get a win tonight.
Wes Glasgow on your screen. Great to see him get a little bit of TV time here. The Brad's Golf Cars, number 21, the red machine on the bottom there. The battle is really on for third place right now. Third place right now, I think, is the key battle right behind your leaders right there. And right now, Cale Martin is showing some patience behind the driver of that number 99, Brian Sykes Jr. Caution is out. Jordan Atkins has spun around in turn number 1 and turn number 2. There's Jordan Atkins, number 23. A1 pressure washing machine. Jordan Atkins is a fine young lady. She's had some really good runs so far this year, the driver of that number 23. She's a business owner, Squeaky Clean Express, A1 pressure washing. She's a hard worker, not just in the race car. She's a hard worker Monday through Friday with her own small business. Top run this year, 4th in week 3. It's been a pretty good season. She had some speed this morning in practice as well. Well, looking through the field, we like to highlight some cars, and there is the number 10 car of Kendall Craig Hartless. This car was actually piloted by Travis Moonhead Brown. Moonhead, if you know him, internet kind of personality, I guess you'd say, influencer. If you got a mullet and a mustache like that, you're an influencer.
I'm influenced.
But, folks, this is the one car that Moonhead has not wrecked. Sorry, Moonhead. I had to do it. I had to do it. He wrecked the Landon Huffman machine this week. That was tragic. Dang. Because that race car, they worked so hard on that race car. So I know how hard it hurts Moonhead, and I really know how bad it hurts Landon Huffman. But, yeah, that was a car that's legendary because it was raced by Moonhead right there. But the Motorsports on Main machine now being run by Kendall Craig Hartless. Zach Staley not in this race, the driver of the number 7. Handed a suspension, I'm told, this week. Also some big news coming for you out of the news desk here behind me. And the news desk, I would say, would be Hurricane Herrera right behind us. The 81 of Chuck Wall that was in that stadium stock race has now been disqualified. Told an aluminum drive shaft for the 4-time winner, Chuck Wall. And he is now relegated to last place, and I believe last place or no points. We'll get that clarified at some point. But, yeah, Chuck Wall disqualified from his finish in the Stadium Stock 15-lapper at the beginning of the night.
Chuck Wall tied for the lead in points in that division, so that's huge for him.
Yeah, and I don't know if he'll have that lead if they take his point. Well, even if they don't take his points away and he gets last place points, with A.J. Sanders finishing in second in that race, I think it's safe to say that A.J. Sanders will probably be your points leader because Brendan Brendel was really close, and he was your winner. So I don't know. It's going to be tight. It's going to be interesting to see that point sheet come out. Choose cone is out. The top 3 choose the bottom. Oh, the first car to choose the outside, Cale Martin in the number 70. It didn't work for him on 2 restarts, but he's going to try again. At first you don't succeed, try again. Matt Garrison takes the cone from the front stretch, and now we are getting set to go back to action. 28 laps on the board of this 50-lap affair. Green flag is out. The battle is on for second place. Austin Jones grabs that spot. We have a spin in turn number 1 and turn number 2 to bring out the caution yet again. And the car gets going. It's Kid Dynamite. Kid Dynamite. Well, he didn't blow up, but he spun out. The driver of the Velocita number 9.
Now just 20 laps to go in this race and in our evening here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is it.
This is it. This is the final race of the night.
I've only had a sun drop and a Pepsi today.
I haven't even cracked my second Celsius.
Oh, God, there you go again. you and Jacqueline with your Celsius.
Oh,
You guys
boy.
are you guys officially brand ambassadors, or do you just like it?
My journey with Celsius started by just really liking it.
Okay.
And I've been fortunate enough to get to know the company from there.
Do you guys
but-
get points like the
Chug
Coca-Cola
points?
drivers do? Because, man, every chance I see you and Jacqueline, you got your Celsiuses there. You guys are like working out, and you're lifting barbells. They got a Celsius on it.
Look,
You're at the racetrack, you got a Celsius on it.
it's less about the points for me or whatever you want to call them, and it's more about the caffeine that gets
Yeah.
me through the day.
I got my sun drop over here. It's
I
got my
love
buddy Dale Jr. on it. Anytime you got a late model on a soda can, you got to like it.
Of course.
Anyway, let's get back to business here. Street Stock 50 back underway. 31 laps on the board. Christian Joyce, your leader. Brad Lewis chose the outside there. He's going to try to file down into the third spot, but I don't know because Cale Martin might have something to say about it. He's on the inside. He's been the guy trapped to the outside always. Now he's the one on the inside with the preferred groove coming out of turn number 4. Yellow flag is out again. Moose Martin at the 50-yard line goes for a spin.
You beat me to it. Which, you know what? While we're at it, that is the 50-yard line, but you informed me that next month that's going to be looking at maybe somewhere in center field, potentially?
Yeah, I don't know what the layout's going to be, but July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I believe. Don't hold me to those dates, but you got to look it up, folks. Look up disco turkeys. Baseball.
Well, yeah, I was going to say. Context.
No, I think if you just look up a disco turkey, there's not many turkeys that actually do disco, so they'll probably get the baseball team. It'll probably come up on the Google search as number 1. I'd assume.
There's at least one page.
So what we're saying, folks, is there's going to be a historic 3 nights of baseball here at Bowman Gray Stadium, a stadium that was built in 1937 as a multi-purpose arena for sports, hosting so many great events, especially in particular NASCAR racing, what they're most famous for, as well as football. This place right here hosted the undefeated season. The Iron Dukes, Duke University, they played a game here that magical season at Bowman Gray Stadium. Wake Forest has played football here. Of course, Wake Forest is in the Men's College World Series battle right now in Omaha, Nebraska. But this place right here is legendary. And, it'll be really cool to see this place as a baseball field. So they're going to play – what's the team they're going to play? Come on. You remember?
Wampus Cats.
The Wampus Cats.
The Wampus Cats.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
I kind of wish I could announce that.
Hey, I bet you could.
Just so I could say, like, and now batting for the URE Wampus Cats.
Wampus Cats.
Oh, I like that. That was good.
I don't know. I'm a big Disco Turkeys gal, so.
I'm going to root for the Disco. I'm going to be here in the grandstands.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to root for the Disco Turkeys.
How can you not?
Because they sponsor Andrew and Austin Cates, 2 fine young men that real hard workers that work on their own stuff in the stadium stock division. Kona is out. Top 3 drivers choose the bottom. Brad Lewis, once again, goes to the top. But, yeah, we implore you to come here to Bowman Gray Stadium in July for good old racing. But then, on that week off from racing here, baseball. I like racing better.
A little more fast pace.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a tad.
A little bit more drama.
Just a
Unless we get
tad.
somebody charging the mound.
Well.
That would be awesome. It is Bowman Gray. Here we go. The law offices of John Barrow Street Stocks are green again. 36 laps on the board. Clicking 37. Hanging on the outside is the old veteran Brad Lewis, but he's going to file back right there. Got a little out of shape coming out of turn number 2. Cale Martin to his bottom. The battle is on for 3rd.
There. Oh, wow.
Well,
He tried to file in there.
tried to file in there, and then he got the front bumper of Brian Sykes Jr. Brad Lewis goes around, causing the caution. Yet again, another call. 811 dig. Caution flag is out.
Beautiful.
And this time it's because of Brad Lewis. That was better, right?
You're getting pretty good at that.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, the 1,420th time's a charm.
Well, you know what? on night 1088, you'll be perfect.
Here we go. Here's the replay. Brad Lewis trying to close the door there, get to the bottom. A tough place to do it because of the trajectory of that number 99 car. There was really no not getting into him. And then right there, he's got a choice. If he slows down, he's getting run over. So he finished him off. It's kind of like one of those deals you're eating a sundae, and then you get to the bottom and you got a choice. You know, you got a little bit of ice cream kind of souped up, and then you got your hot fudge. You might as well mix it around and finish it. And right there, he knew he had maybe one more bite to take, and he finished it. God, I'm hungry.
Ugh.
Oh, little donuts.
I was going to say, I know a guy.
We still have like 45 little donuts in here.
I got a donut guy if
There's
you need
donuts
some.
everywhere. You want a
Powdered
donut?
sugar.
I'm like the Oprah Winfrey of donuts up here. You got a donut. You got a donut. Everybody gets a donut. All right. 10 laps to go. 9 laps as we trip the line here. Restart is out. And right away, yellow flag. Austin Jones a little too happy to the loud pedal on that start. The leader has to be the first one to the throttle. There will be a new winner tonight in the Thunder Road Grill 50. There's not a single driver in this field that has won this prestigious race. Better restart that time for Christian Joyce. Austin Jones took the big risk, took the big swing on the outside. Can he make it work? No, he can't. Now, can he get to the bottom? He does so just in front of Cale Martin. Cale Martin gives him the little bit of a bumper. Pretty patient there. Austin Jones in second. Christian Joyce, your leader. Second place, Austin Jones. Cale Martin, third. The hood is flopping off. Oh, look at that battle as Brad Lewis is muscling his way back up to the front of the field. He gets by Moose Martin right there.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's muscling his way to get up to that number 99 of Brian Sykes Jr., but the Sykes machine might have another problem. Your fourth position guy has a hood, 2 hood pins, it looks like, loose on that Sykes Metal Roofing 99. Trouble right behind him. Moose Martin has gone around. Kid Dynamite into his left. Caution is out, and 2 cars are together on the infield grass on the back straightaway. 2 of the best nicknames in the street stocks caused a caution. Well, the Moose now puts in reverse. Uncle Moose, he gets going.
How do you get a nickname like Moose?
Well, you know, how did Tiny Lund get his nickname? You either get it because it's the opposite of you, or it really describes you. And I think if you see Moose, he's not a little man. He looks like a tough moose, and moose are tough.
Makes sense to me.
Sometimes he might have given people the horn. Is that a horn or an antler? What is that? Oh, boy. Something's being said in the headsets because all of a sudden you laughed, and I know it wasn't over my joke.
No, I just said that makes sense to me, and our director Jackson said no, it doesn't. So apparently it
God,
doesn't
I love
make any
Jackson's.
sense.
Well, you know, like Tiny Lund got his nickname because it's the opposite.
Sure.
He's
right.
a big
well, that
man.
Was, I guess that was my question. Was so Moose is not. It's the opposite of the opposite.
Yeah, it's just a good descriptor of him.
Yeah. So it's not like Tiny.
No, it's not like Tiny.
Got it.
I made an analogy that was completely the opposite.
Okay, that's what I was.
So
just
then I
trying-
covered myself by
For
saying
sure.
either it's the opposite or it's exactly.
Got it.
Like my nickname, my only nickname I had in racing was the Flying Kielbasa.
Ooh. I like
Because
that.
I'm Polish.
Okay.
And I look like
And you
a
can
sausage coming out of its casing one time in a street stock because I barely fit in the race car, but I still raced it anyway. There you go.
I like that nickname.
Yeah, the Flying Kielbasa. I made a logo, but then I just really haven't raced since.
No.
Yeah.
We should bring
Wah,
back the
wah, wah.
logo.
Yeah, maybe. But there's possibility I might be testing a car soon.
Well.
Don't tell my wife. I just
You
said
heard
that
it
on the
here
air.
first,
Thank God she's not
folks.
listening. Not racing. It's been a long time.
Testing.
Just practice.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
if I was going to race, I'd have to get two things. A new helmet, maybe from my buddies at Bell, because my helmet's pretty old. And I've never raced with a Hans device.
Really? Those are pretty important.
My nephew was like, well, you're going to race with one. I'm like, well, I don't have one. So I'd probably have to borrow one.
I found this, speaking of helmets, in cleaning out the garage.
Oh, a Jerry Punch helmet.
My dad's helmet from Hickory back in, 70? 71?
Well,
Look at that bad boy. He's
That's
never raced
cool.
with a Hans device either, I can tell you that.
Hans devices are great, though. Gotta love them.
Absolutely.
Save so many drivers from massive injury. Lights are out on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicles. It dips in. It's dipping in late today, like kind of around the 10-yard line, 5-yard line. I kind of like the commitment. Green flag is out. Green and white together. 1/4 mile trip around Bowman Gray Stadium. Austin Jones applies the bumper. Can Christian Joyce hang on here in the north turn? The street stock 50. The glory goes to Christian Joyce. The Hot Rod Barn is the winner. Big wreck on the front straightaway. The front straightaway is an absolute mess right now. The track crew goes running towards the wreckage. Wow. That was a big wreck here on the front straightaway. Well, your winner right there is Christian Joyce. Let's take a look at the end of this right here. You see West Glasgow broke, it looked like, and then the two of them, hard hit, a T-bone for Kid Dynamite. And Kid Dynamite now is out of his race car. Great news as he appears shaken up. Kid Dynamite, the ambulance is out. You see him right there climbing out. Definitely got his bell rung. Justin Cummins right there. And great to see Jimmy Brown and that track crew run there. That was unbelievable. They knew how severe of an impact that was. Great job by our track crew right there as Cummins gets out of his race car, stretching out in his Velocity suit. Getting a round of applause from the fans here at Bowman Gray that know that these drivers risk it all here on a Saturday night, and any time you can escape without an injury, it's always a blessing. So awesome to see Wes Glasgow out of his car as well. And your winner tonight will be pulling around the ambulance. No need for that stretcher. Let's put it back because that driver is waving to the crowd right now. And right now waving that checkered flag and about to pull into victory lane, a winner of the most prestigious street stock race at Bowman Gray Stadium, the annual Thunder Road Grill 50, will be Christian Joyce. There is Kid Dynamite. Oh, he's a great guy. So great to see him walking from his race car across the football field right now back to the pit area. Christian Joyce now. Look at that. Got the Skull Bandit Racing, the Hot Rod Barn written there on the front, the High Point Body and Shop #1. That's a place where he actually works Monday through Friday. A family man as well. And on Father's Day, it's going to be a good one for Christian Joyce. Let's go down to Randy Pulliam in Victory Lane.
Rolling into Victory Lane, Christian Joyce. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. The longest, most prestigious event of the season for the Lawless John Barrow Street Stock Series. Christian, been a long time coming, brother. Your second win, I would have to think I would have to think it was worth the wait, a 5-week wait. You took it home in what was the Thunder Road Grill Street Stock 51 tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. I'll tell you, when we qualified for the race, we had the best car then, and I tried my best to save it and preserve it for this race. And going into last week, I knocked the whole right front off of it, and sure enough, Dylan made it even faster. So, number one, thanks to Dylan Ward and DWR. I got to thank High Point Body and Paint, Precision Fabrication, Peter's Auto Mall, Highfield Enterprises, BK Auto, Sweets and Treats, Trinity Machine Shop, A&M Crane, DWR, and Dylan's Landscaping.
Once again, congratulations on your second win of the season. You came in to the evening tied with Cale Martin for the points lead. You'll leave here tonight with a slim lead all to yourself. Cale finishing third, but congratulations once again for win number 2 on the season for you, Christian Joyce.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Christian Joyce, ladies and gentlemen, he'll make his way over to the Carolina Wood Floor Winner's Circle.
Guys in our garage area, Christian Joyce. Happy Father's Day to him as he gets his 6th career street stock triumph in a very famous car here, that number 1 machine. I remember David Sumner running it, and just great to see this group here. And a young man as fine as Christian Joyce, just a simple guy, scoring his 6th career win and the biggest one of the year. The first time he wins the Street Stock 50 Thunder Road Street Stock 50. Unbelievable night of racing. We have so many other great nights of racing to come live on Flow Racing, don't we, Jesse?
That's right. We have tons of racing still to finish out the season here at Bowman Gray. And if you're tuning in at home, you're going to be fortunate enough to be hanging out with my buddy Dillner here for the rest of the year, because starting next week, the Sportsman 100 on June 24th, and then more modified action, the 100-lap modified race, the first weekend of July, the Night of Destruction. That's a pretty cool name. I mean, how do you not want to attend the Night of Destruction?
Have you ever been? It's awesome.
In July. I've been to a few Nights of Destruction. I don't know if they were the official ones here at Bowman Gray, but there was plenty of destruction on those nights. And then another 100-lap modified race in late July, and more sportsman action to round out the month of July.
Oh, boy. It's there's a reason they call it still the most exciting of them all. Jesse Punch, thanks for joining us in the booth tonight. And I just have to, before I leave, I always do this. I would like to get your takeaway for the night.
Okay. Aside from the mini donuts that I'm taking away, little donuts that I'm taking away with me?
Yeah, I mean, I hope you're not taking a lot of them because our camera crew has been working so hard. They need them. But besides the donuts, what you got?
I kid.
Oh, there's Zeno Marshall, by the way, holding the trophy with the gray hair. I had to interrupt. Thank you to Zeno Marshall and Thunder Road Grill for all you do for Bowman Gray Racing. You're a great man. You do a lot of great things here, and you're appreciated. So go ahead, Jesse.
You know, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not on the live air, so if I get in trouble, I'm going to apologize in advance. But my biggest takeaway from tonight is something that I already knew, but I saw on display firsthand. Amber Lynn is a badass. I mean, we all knew it. We all knew it. But getting to be here and see two opportunities. She struggled in that first race. Yep. She came back out, and what makes her so cool is not only her ability to rebound and drive that race car, but her level-headedness. She didn't just come back out and wreak havoc, and that's something that I'm kind of a hothead sometimes. I can't say that I'm always level-headed, so badass Amberlyn. She was my takeaway from the night.
Yeah, that was an amazing finish in the Sportsman Division race, and there's a reason she is one of the more polarizing short trackers in America, hands down. I think my takeaway tonight was another polarizing driver here, and that was Burt Myers, avenging last week's missed shift or broken transmission. Last week he laid the bumper a million times to Lee Jeffries, couldn't get around him. Tonight, vintage, as we say with wine, vintage Burt Myers, laying that famed orange bumper to Lee Jeffries, scoring his 90th career modified win. Let's give you the winners real quick from tonight. Your first winner, Brendan Lee Brendel, his 26th career win in the Stadium Stocks. First sportsman race, his 27th career win for Michael Adams. the first to twin modified races. 97th career Bowman Gray win, creeping up on that all-time record for Tim Brown. Second sportsman event of the night, the crazy barn burner that Tommy Neal stole for his 56th career Bowman Gray Stadium win. Then the second modified race we just talked about, Burt Myers' 90th career win. The street stocks close it out here with Christian Joyce, win number 90 for win number 1 in the 50 for the street stocks. I'm tripping on my words here, but tonight Flow Racing. Matthew Dillner, myself, Jesse Punch in the booth. Hurricane Herrera, Christina right here in the back, manning the ship back here. Justin Mincy at home, recovering from a ruptured Achilles surgery. So we miss him so much tonight. Our cameras tonight, great job, Quentin. Stat boy Elgin Trailer, the legend. Static cameraman, who was it again? Who's there tonight? Colby Gouda.
I think it was Colby Gouda, yeah.
Colby Gouda.
Only the best.
So Elgin Trailer, though, up top, what a legend. Sorry, I said that twice, but he is such a legend. Good friend of mine, too. Charlotte, North Carolina, Matt Jackson, Lucas, Matt Strickard, Zylak, Alex the engineer, everybody in the NASCAR building, everybody back at Flow Racing headquarters in Austin, Texas for my friend Jesse Punch. I'm Matthew Dillner. Thank you for tuning in live. Flow Racing every week at Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse. Until next time, we'll see you at the races.